The final day of Gamescom 2026 has arrived. Coming up today on Gamescom Studio, join GameScoop, Outside Xbox, and the IGN UK podcast as they weigh in on the games shown off this year that stood out to them and what the next big breakout hits will be.
I think this could be like a really big hit.
It's all coming up soon, so don't go anywhere. Gamescom Studio starts right now.
Hello
everyone, and welcome once again to Gamescom Studio 2026. I'm Max Scoville. Here with me are Damon Hatfield and Jane Douglas.
We have seen a lot of games over the last few days between the mini trailer reveals, hands-on demos out on the show floor, and developer deep dives here on our stage, so it can be hard to keep track of everything that's coming out.
Lucky for you, there is an official Gamescom Steam event page where you can find every game that's been part of the show and add it to your wish list to stay up to date.
Now let's check in with Brian out on the Spotlight stage to find out what is coming up next. We made him go stand out there because he was having a bad attitude, and that is not allowed. Brian, are you chipper?
Thank you guys so much. Gamescom is awesome, as always, and this year has been one of the biggest yet. We're closing off today with 3 brand new Gamescom episodes of IGN Podcast. So we got Outside Xbox, then the IGN UK Podcast, and finally a brand new episode of Gamescom. But right now, let's check out what's happening at the Gamescom show floor.
One of the biggest things at Gamescom is the cosplay contest. And we're going to be speaking to the judges about some of the best cosplay at Gamescom right now.
It wouldn't be a convention without cosplay, and Gamescom does not disappoint. Joining me to discuss the results of the Gamescom 2026 cosplay contest, some of this year's judges, Valentine Moon, Yuji Koi, Anna Sight, and Micah Hooster. Welcome.
Hi.
So, I get the sense that this year's cosplay contest was a little bit bigger than usual. Would you say it's gotten bigger?
Yeah, for sure.
How many contestants did you have? And I guess what was the show like this year?
There was 30 in total.
32, I think.
30. No, 30.
Yeah, 30 at the end?
32.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we did over 100 pre-judging.
Yeah. Yes.
So before the contest even started.
What's the time frame for that like? Like how soon do you see the costumes? How does this all start out, I guess?
It starts out, we get a form that has every single competitor who ever wants to compete in the contest sends us a picture of their cosplay. And we have to go through all of them and think and try and figure out who is the best of the best of the best. Yep. And then we have to narrow it down even more to get our finalists, which was incredibly hard, and we get 30.
That sounds complicated. That sounds like a lot of tough choices.
Yeah.
Are there any costumes that you've seen, like, you know, a lot of cosplay is also photography, like getting a good photo of a costume is also hard. Maybe not as hard as making the costume, but it's definitely tricky. Have you ever had any costumes where like the photo was like, that's pretty good, and then you see it in your person and you're just, whoa. Any particular instances like that?
I would say it's the other way around.
Okay, really?
There's a lot of cosplay with like very big and impressive build, and we were like, wow, this looks so crazy on photo. We would love to see it in real life. But then when we come to in real life and we flip every single hand, see all the lines and seam finishing, then it was like, it's not as good as we expected on the photos.
We have to be picky.
Yeah.
We have to be so picky. We're there thinking like, oh no, there's a little nick in the seam. Oh no.
It's just like the little parts.
Brutal. Now there's different categories. Can you kind of walk us through the different categories and what the criteria you're looking for?
Do you want to do armor first?
Yeah, I think there's armor, like, well, how does it called? Like, how the seams, is there 3D printing in it, or is it like foam work and stuff? Is it sewing? It's just like, yeah, that's for armor, I would say. Yeah, then we have sewing.
So we have the sewing/needlework category, which is basically anything fabric, anything you can put through a machine is probably needlework, but that could also be hand embroidery. There was, you'll see a Glinda dress, entirely hand embroidered, 8 months of work, just getting individual beads, and she won best dress because how could she not?
Yes.
We were picking apart every single little piece, and it was just perfection.
That's amazing. So when you're judging, do you take into consideration the way the thing was crafted?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm curious. You're all cosplayers yourself. There's obviously been huge leaps forward in technology. You've got 3D printing. You've got laser cutting. There's a lot of stuff that has gotten easier. Is there anything in the craft that you prefer to do the old-fashioned way, or conversely, is there like a piece of technology that has drastically made life easier for you?
I would say that like nowadays, as you say, with like the development of like 3D printings, laser cutting, metal printing, everything, like there's a lot of costume that I see they have implied like very crazy new technology that we didn't even try yet. So it's very hard for us to judge in that cases. But I would say it really depends on the characters and what is the function of those parts. For example, if those parts that you need to move around a lot and it needs to be flexible, then you need to choose materials such as like EVA foam or TPU that is flexible to move. And for part that you just need to show or hold in the hand only, then you can apply the other techniques like 3D printing with rigid parts.
Wild. Yeah. Would you say there's any particular games or franchises or fandoms that you see more costumes for this year?
Oh, I mean, we had 3 from the same game, didn't we?
Yeah.
The monkey.
The monkey. Wukong.
Wukong. We had 3, and we were narrowing it down. And we're going to have all 3 of these. We can't not.
Amazing.
They're just too good.
Yeah.
But the costume itself lent itself to being good for a competition because it had incredible sewing, the ability to 3D print or make armor in different ways. There we go. That's one. The staff. So some costumes definitely lend themselves better to competitions than others because you can show off that wider range of techniques that we're looking for.
Now, if there was an award for funniest costume, were there any that made you laugh this year? Because I feel like cosplayers like to goof around a little bit, you know, and you can have like a silly costume here and there. You can also have like a really impressive costume and somebody just goofs around in it. They just get funny on stage. Did anything get a chuckle out of you this year?
You've got to have a good goof. A chuckle, certainly. I think we were all absolutely giggling at the cat. The cat was
definitely
the cat.
Yeah.
Third
The cat
place
was so
and
cute.
fan vote online.
Yeah.
I don't know if the cat will come up at some point, but we'll all go, "Oh my god, the cat!"
I think I saw a picture of that one
Adorable.
online.
Yeah.
Was it a Palico from Monster Hunter, I think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, like making a costume is hard. That's a lot of work. But then there's also the aspect of, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
That is, I love that. You got the Witch King of Angmar.
Jumping.
It's like literally
Amazing.
step out of the game.
That's wonderful.
Life, yeah.
It's amazing. It was wonderful.
Obviously that's handmade. That's
Yes.
a human made that. It's a lot of work to make that. But then you also have to get it here, and then you also have to wear it for hours on end.
Yeah.
If there was like an award for like biggest hassle, like the most trouble that looked like, which costume do you think was like the most of a process just to get to Gamescom and have on?
I think the Fallout guy.
The Fallout guy was.
It was like a more huge costume, and he also had stilts on it, so it was pretty impressive and strong.
A lot of the female armor because they also have heels.
Yeah.
So they've got to navigate in heels as well.
Wow, so badass.
That had so many pieces that interlock together with 3D printed joints.
Yeah, and
Wow.
it's just a big costume, I think. So.
But I will also say that it really depends. For example, I don't know where this guy from, but maybe if he's from Germany, then it's not so much of a hassle for
that's
him
right.
to bring the costume here.
right.
But the cat, I know that they're from France.
Yeah.
So they probably either drive or fly here. I don't know.
We
but
also had like
With all the costume.
one of the guys from Wukong wore
Kuwait.
Yeah, Kuwait.
Yes,
Yeah, I think
Kuwait.
so. This is far away.
And he was one of the Wukongs, so he had
One of the very big
Everything.
Wukong with a very impressive staff.
yeah.
And you also have to get it through airport security. There's probably some questions there.
They're looking inside into the waterfall.
That's the scariest part of traveling for
Yeah.
any
Oh,
dimension.
yes.
Getting it through airport security and getting your bag at the end.
Yeah, a bag singular, not several bags. I feel like it's probably a few bags for some of these.
bags.
Yeah.
I brought 4.
A container for it.
God. Now, obviously, this is high level cosplay. You all do this professionally. If there's somebody out there who's never cosplayed before and they want to give it a shot, what's your tip? Like, what's your recommendation for them to just get into it?
Do a media
Get
you
fun.
love. Have fun.
Have fun.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy what you do.
Yeah.
If you want to try and compete, masquerades are an incredible place to start. Free to enter, you can enter on the day and you don't have any requirements for what you've made. So you can just get a taste of walking the stage and get to know the cosplay community. We can't stress enough, this is the best of the best of the best of the best. This is people who have honed their craft for years upon years. Some of these people were saying they'd been cosplaying for 10 plus years.
Yeah, 6
And just-
years
right.
or yeah.
Crazy. So don't feel intimidated by the best of the best. Strive for it.
Everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah.
What was your first foray into cosplaying? How did you get started, each of you?
I started with Misa Amane from Death Note. It was a pretty simple dress, so it was kind of fun.
For me, it was Hatsune Miku from Vocaloid. I wanted to do everything by myself, but I have no experience in sewing whatsoever. I went to the fabric market, tried to find the good fabrics, and I didn't even have a sewing machine, so I was trying to sew it all by hand. And at the end, I look at the result, it looked trash. So I ended up buying everything.
Jesus.
I started with makeup, so cosplay comes later. Like 10 years ago, maybe I started to do content online, makeup content. So I started like this, and
That's, I mean,
it comes to
makeup's
nowadays.
a whole other corner of that. That's another aspect, and it's becoming a character. What about you?
That's why you got your own award, didn't you? Makeup and wigs. I have a degree in costume design, and that
helps.
kind of led into cosplay, in the sense of I liked making the dresses, and I thought, I'll go the extra mile, and then opened up a whole nother world.
That's so cool. Now, the Gamescom Cosplay Village. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What was there this year? I didn't get a chance to check it out for myself. Were there any highlights?
To be fair, we are so occupied. I mean, I'm also occupied with the contest. I didn't have time to check out the cosplay village first, but I've seen a lot of people like telling me there's so many good things and cool things to see at cosplay village this year. So you better come. So yeah,
So we had a loaded day yesterday. We were
Photo
there
opportunities
You're busy,
and stuff,
yeah.
also stage. So it's been nice.
Well, that's the whole thing. The contest got so big. It used to be in the village, and now it's on its own thing. No, one of my favorite things about the village, though, is that like you'll see the most incredible costumes ever, and then you get a photo of them where they're just in like a convention hallway, you know. And the village, there's like little sets and things, and it adds like a whole layer there, which is so much fun. Thank you all so much for coming by and chatting about this. This was a delight. This is always a highlight of the show, and congrats on another cosplay contest going successfully. There's more Gamescom Studio coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The average Cinefix movie list features nearly 100 different films and approximately 25 minutes worth of wall-to-wall deep dive analysis. To simulate that pace for this 30-second ad, we're featuring 26 different films, and before you say it, no, that math does not check out. We're not math people, we're movie people. We can't even count down from 10 without ending up at, like, 96. Subscribe to IGN Movies and TV for more Cinefix movie lists. Bad at math, great at movies.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and so much more.
See? It's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
IGN Plus is where your adventure begins.
What are you selling?
Plus is the place to get unlimited access to all the tools you need to beat your games.
Here's what you need to know for bringing down Gloomspawn.
Plus, awesome exclusive discounts on IGN Store.
Maybe this would tease open your money pouch.
Plus, ad-free browsing on IGN.com. Plus, unlimited game help tools like premium interactive maps with your own custom map markers, filters, marker notes, and more.
This will come in handy.
Plus, access to sweepstakes, giveaways, and free game keys.
Wow! Exactly.
Want more? Head to IGN.com/plus and start your adventure today.
Oh, hello. We're outside Xbox from YouTube. Welcome to Gamescom 2026, where we've commandeered the Gamescom stage and barricaded ourselves in to bring you a special outside Xbox show. I'm Jane, he's Mike, and we've got as long as it takes for the producers to break down our barricades to talk about what's going on here. Mike.
I will die before I leave this sofa. It's the most comfortable I have been all day. I've been on my feet all day, looking at video games, playing stuff, and now this is just glorious. I could live here.
It's quiet, it's comfortable, it's cool.
It's air conditioned.
So thanks, Gamescom.
Yeah.
Speaking of Gamescom, how is your Gamescom?
Amazing. Yeah, I think it's been a really, really strong show this year. Some really, really exciting games. I've managed to get my hands on a bunch of stuff. And one of the things that, this is a bit inside baseball, but some really nice long gameplay sessions as well. Sometimes this kind of show, when you're on this side of the fence, is a bit like rushing from one half-an-hour appointment to the next, and you never really get a good sense of the games. But actually, I had an hour and a half with Silent Hill Townfall. I had an hour with, Hellraiser. So, a bunch of these games that I've been really excited about, I'm getting like serious hands-on time with, and it's brilliant.
Really immersive, like representative demos, or you hope so?
Yeah, indeed. It just gives you time to sort of get an idea of the pacing and the tone. There are shorter demos that we have played, but I never feel like they're fully representative of what you can expect when you sit down to play that game eventually. So you have to take them with a bit of a grain of salt. We'll talk about Alien Isolation 2 later, but that is a short sort of 20-25 minute demo. And I think that the original Alien Isolation was a sort of masterclass in pacing and tension, and it's impossible to have that on a show floor. But for stuff like Hellraiser, it's great to sort of, well, I say great. I mean, you've seen Hellraiser probably. Enjoy is a very strong word for the experience you have when you're playing a Hellraiser game, but it's very, very good.
All right. If you know us from outside Xbox, then hi, welcome. You might be wondering where Ellen is. Ellen is unfortunately not feeling very well.
Yeah.
So lots of love to Ellen. Get well soon. We assume you're watching.
Yeah.
No matter how unwell you are, we expect
you're parked in front of a screen.
Andy, meanwhile, is back at base. Hi, Andy.
Yes.
We also like you. Okay.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But you're not ill, so you're not getting any sympathy from me.
No, we're going to save that.
Yep.
So what I wanted to talk to you about today,
yes,
and we have some amount of time, as I say, here on the Gamescom stage, is I feel like horror fans are eating real good this time at Gamescom.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of the stuff I've seen is horror, and there are even some, again, we'll talk about it a bit later on perhaps, but even games like The Witcher 3's new DLC has a kind of folk horror sort of vibe to it, and so yeah, it's I mean, if you're a horror fan, there's so much great stuff here at the show at the moment, and a bunch of like really interesting sort of horror indies and stuff floating around. I haven't had a chance to play those yet, but there's a bunch on my hit list that I would like to go and see. So yeah, I think if you are a horror fan, this is a great year to be one. But also, a lot of that stuff, the horror stuff we've talked about, is coming out in sort of September and like early October, because everyone's kind of clearing the way for GTA 6. But I think your Halloween, if you are, if you're looking for something to play in kind of late October around Halloween time, you are going to be spoilt for choice. And much more coming into 2027 as well.
To wit, here at Gamescom, we've got Townfall, which you have seen just over, like, where's Koelnmesse?
Somewhere behind there,
It's behind us somewhere. So you played, you said, like an hour and a half of Silent Hill Townfall,
so that was really
unheard
good.
of. And then we've got Alien Isolation 2. We were both just over at the Sega booth, having a fine old time. Hellraiser, of course, you have seen, freshly from that almost.
Yeah, that was today.
And at Opening Night Live, which is a little while ago now, there was Ontos, which is not here on the show floor, but I'm counting it because it was at Opening Night Live, and an extremely striking,
interesting
trailer from that. I kind of want to talk about that, even though we haven't had a hands-on with it, because I'm quite excited about that. I think have you seen Metro 2039?
I have, I played a half an hour of that as well, which was really cool. It was on the Xbox booth, but it's just, there's a kiosk there, and I had a chance to jump on it, and honestly, it was a real highlight, actually. I really feel like with Metro, 4A games kind of fly under the radar a bit, but they are so good at what they do. Just so effective. The atmosphere, the level of detail, this sort of bleak environment is very reminiscent of the Stalker games as well, but I would argue more polished than typically those games have been. And even horror-y, I mean, you look at some of the monsters that jump. The jump scare in this game was probably the one that got me the most. And I'm not typically prone to.
You're
a
like
jump scare.
immune.
Yeah.
You're a jump scare robot.
And there was a jump scare in this game that got me. So I think, it's not necessarily.
Was it this?
Yeah, I mean, it was very similar
What
to
we're
that.
looking
I'll
at right
admit,
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thing with big teeth jumping on me. But I will say that it's not entirely a horror game, but it definitely has horror vibes and stuff. And that feeling of claustrophobia, there's something really effective about the when the gas mask goes on, just that. The way that the sort of vignetting around the screen kind of closes you in a bit, and it's really, really effective because obviously when you're, walking around out in the open, even though you're in an open environment, you feel more enclosed almost than you do when you're inside the metro station and talking with other people and you don't have the gas mask on. So, very, very cool game, and a real treat to be able to pick it up. It was not one I was necessarily expecting to play when I was here, but the opportunity arose, and that's one of the joys of Gamescom is just, if you see a free kiosk of something and you can dash over and play it, and you might find your new favourite game.
Lucky that, like an impromptu hands-on.
Yeah.
Did anyone talk to you about like the significance of 2039, like how things have kind of moved on?
So there weren't any representatives from the game developer there. I think just because it was on the Xbox booth and I'd sort of snuck in, but. I think it's really interesting because I really liked Exodus and I really liked that sort of traveling out on the train and all that kind of thing, and the different areas of the kind of landscape that you would visit. But I think this feels like it's bringing it back to what Metro once was, which was again people sort of sheltering in place in this metro station, and then you going out on these sort of excursions to try and find out what's going on. It's a really the environment I was playing in the demo was a very controlled environment. It wasn't a very large sort of open area, but it was phenomenally highly detailed, and there was a lot of sort of interesting weirdness going on. At one point I was in a kindergarten and there was sort of slightly spooky things happening that were again almost sort of horror coded, which I thought was quite cool. And then the gunplay is just fantastic. You've got all that weapon customization that you had in the previous game. So yeah, it really feels like it's going back to kind of Metro's roots a little bit, and I think that's why it's called 2039 rather than a different subtitle. But I love the aesthetic, and I think you've got to give those guys credit for the circumstances. They are literally building that game in a war zone essentially. So that Ukrainian developer 4A Games, astonishing that they are creating something that's so lavishly detailed. There's a moment we won't have footage of, but a cutscene where I was talking to a character and there was a little tab of sort of pills on the table, and as he gestured and moved, he sort of knocked the pills slightly. I'm like, someone had to go in there and make sure that little packet of pills was physics enabled, and that during the cutscene he would nudge out of the way. It's that level of sort of detail and attention that I think 4A do brilliantly, and like I say, I think they're sort of slightly slept on because as first-person shooters go, it's one of the best ones out there. It really is. Beautiful looking game, real sense of place, atmosphere, great horror moments, and really good gunplay.
And you were in the audience during opening night.
Yes.
Live. I was back at the hotel watching
Yeah.
the stream. What was the reaction like in the room for 2039?
Do you know what? There was a great reaction, and I think also a real warmth towards the developers. It was quite an emotional moment, I thought, because they got up there and we all know the sort of global circumstances and stuff, but they're so proud of what they've achieved and what they are continuing to achieve under such difficult circumstances, and I think the crowd was with them. Do you know what I mean? There was a real sense of warmth and sort of compassion from the assembled audience. 5,000 people, but it really, you felt that emotion.
That's really nice. And if you're at all interested, you can catch the VOD version of the reaction stream over on Outside Xbox. Yeah. We do a kind of like a multimedia, mixed media stream. That's right. So it's me on video, and then Andy on video, and then Ellen and Mike, who are in the audience of
with
Opening Night Live.
Comments on WhatsApp.
You're literally looking at our group WhatsApp channel on the reaction
group
stream.
Chat.
So get involved in the group chat.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we were just looking at a little bit of Alien Isolation 2 there.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, this for me, I'm so excited. I'm so pleased this game is coming back. I was such a fan of the original, stressful as it was an extremely stressful experience, but more stressful was having to wait this long for a sequel, and
it has been a minute,
finally arriving,
several minutes in fact.
And it's a really interesting one. You can see from the footage that these are organic exterior environments, which is not something you ever got in the first game, so it's a real left turn in that regard, but I think a really fitting expansion of the fiction. I think it's it's really fascinating to see Creative Assembly flex their muscles in terms of the fiction. They are such great stewards of that universe and those characters.
And they've presumably got like all the license they want. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Permission to do as they see fit. Full trust.
Having proven themselves so effectively. So.
And this is like the organic environments.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm fascinated to see how an alien stalking you in those kind of environments could work, and hiding in more natural environments and things like that. It's really fascinating. Not to beat around the bush, but like probably very few of the people who made the original Alien Isolation are still at Creative Assembly. I'm sure there are some people who've returned for it, but I suspect this is a mostly brand new development team because it was so long since the previous game. But they've got such a strong blueprint. The original game was so sure of itself and sure of what it wanted to be, and the mechanics were so well suited to that particular fiction, in terms of the motion tracker and things like that. And so they've got a great blueprint, and now it's just all about expanding that lore and taking it in their own direction and putting their own stamp on it, which I am absolutely here for. Anything that takes me to new places in the Alien universe, I'm all for. I tell you what, though, talking of the motion tracker,
yes, please.
In the Gamescom demo, you do not have a motion tracker. So
Interesting.
You are trying to deal with the alien and hide from the alien without a motion tracker.
Oh no, I don't like that.
Which is very, very stressful.
It's one of my most important senses in an Alien Isolation game.
Yeah. Sight, smell, touch, hearing,
motion tracker. That must be a specific choice for like the demo. That can't be like game long.
There's no way the motion tracker will not be in the game.
Yeah.
It's such a brilliant design, and this is the design that went back to James Cameron's Aliens, because it is a built-in tension mechanic, because as the thing gets closer, the pitch of the motion tracker and the rate of the beeps go up, and it is and that just builds tension. It's like having a musical score, with the strings and things, but it's within the world. It is it's such a brilliant mechanic, and there is no way they will leave it behind, because it is so effective in a video game as well. And you need, I think, in a stealth game, you need that extra sense. Much as we're joking about it, like I think stealth games could be so frustrating if you don't have some additional awareness of where your enemies are, because you're in a video game necessarily your viewport is kind of restricted to a degree, and so it's a brilliant mechanic, and we'll talk about Silent Hill Townfall later, but I think there's elements that they've borrowed from the motion tracker from Alien Isolation in that game because it's so good. So, I'm super hyped for this. No real word on when we're going to get to play it, but I'm just happy that it's in development and already looking so good.
You were talking about your specific experience of the hands-on demo
Yes.
here at Gamescom 2026, and you said towards the end, you're like, I mean, it's not a spoiler, is it? It's a demo. We can talk about it. There is, as you might expect, like a xenomorph chase, kind of like a xenomorph encounter towards the end,
indeed.
and you kind of like popped out of a vent, and it's the classic Alien Isolation experience where you're like, oh, I didn't check over there. And I just imagine that sort of cinematographically in a film where it's like
the head popping up and then there's the alien.
Oh, all good, is it? And the alien's like, sorry, excuse me, what do you
had
think?
my motion tracker, I would have been fine.
That's it.
But even in that small, so it's a small module that I think is broken off of Sevastopol station and crash landed on this planet. So presumably that's the sort of inciting incident that will cause an alien to be loose on the planet. But even within that small habitation thing, there are kind of multiple routes you can take, and you kind of have to have multiple routes with the alien, because it is not a scripted enemy. It's it's running on its own AI, and so there are multiple ways to escape. And one of them is through the vents. The other is by sort of inching around the sort of circumference of this module to try and get around. So that freedom and flexibility, I think, I've missed in sort of. In some of the horror games that are more linear, and I'm pleased to have it back in Alien Isolation 2.
I can't wait to find out what they've done. You know that thing where it's got like two AIs, like the AI that's kind of playing
the brain
with you,
AI and the body AI.
Yeah. I wonder what they're doing with the AI.
I'm sure they'll be improving it. I'm sure they'll be refining it and stuff. But really, it wasn't broken in the first game, so they don't have to do too much. This is what I'm saying about the blueprint is so good. Just give me more.
We are just going to take a short break right now, after which we'll be right back, still here on the Gamescom stage, with more of the best and or scariest bits from this year's show. So please, don't you go away. Mike, don't you go away, and please stay awake also.
you want to be the very best like no one ever was? Streamline your journey to becoming a master trainer with Planet Pokemon. Choose your Pokemon, filtering by type, stats, or game availability. Then use the full team builder to assemble an unbeatable lineup. Plan out the optimal set of moves, items, and abilities. Plan your dream team today at planetpokemon.com.
Catch up on all your favorite shows with up-to-the-minute gaming and entertainment news with Geek Media Podcasts.
Welcome to a very special episode of IGN GameScoop.
GameScoop has you covered for all things gaming and the latest game releases. Tune into Podcast Beyond for the biggest PlayStation news.
Man, this is a cool looking trailer.
Everything Xbox on Podcasts Unlocked.
This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief.
Catch up with your Super Nintendos on Nintendo Voice Chat.
Let the kids love what we love.
And get all the latest console news and rumors with Next Gen Console Watch.
Now Xbox and Phil Spencer are even saying that a mid-gen refresh isn't even necessary.
The Cinefix Top 100 podcast picks a movie every week to celebrate and debate.
It's kind of every movie's grandpa.
Geek Media Podcasts. The best podcasts from around the world.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. You can even track your progress with interactive checklists so you know you reached that 100% completion.
I will not suffer.
IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and so much more. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
IGN's coverage of Gamescom 2026 is presented by Fable.
And we're back. Welcome back to what we're calling the Ox Show, or the OX Show, as you prefer, here on the Gamescom studio stage. I do enjoy a short break. Mike, how was your short break?
Yeah, good. I jumped up and did some star jumps to say limber. I did some stretches. I stayed on the sofa. I spent the whole thing on the sofa.
It's a nice sofa.
It's a really
probably
nice
the nicer sofa.
I've got a little lumbar support. Let me tell you, it's glorious.
I tell you what, a little sidebar. You can't see it from where you are, folks. But elsewhere on the stage, we've got the IKEA Xbox furniture.
Oh yeah.
Which I am
doesn't look as comfortable, but does look cool.
I'm delighted by, like the thumbstick little table.
That's
like,
so funny. Is it a table or is it a stool?
It's whatever you want it to be, Mike.
It's a
multi-purpose giant
bit of
thumbstick
furniture.
for your living room or such. But back to like the scariest and weirdest bits of a very horror heavy, I think horror led Gamescom.
Yeah.
You've played an awful lot of Silent Hill.
I have, yes.
Which is actually coming out on September the 24th. I almost can't believe how close
Soon.
it is.
Yeah. I think that's been a bit of a running theme with stuff this show, sort of.
Yeah.
Again, because there's so much fuss around sort of GTA 6, I think you don't realise that some of the stuff is rushing to get out before.
Well, you know what it is? It's either coming out September next month or January, February the year after.
Indeed.
So Townfall.
Yeah,
now,
so
Townfall, like just to place us in the kind of hall. It's over there. There's like a big booth, and it's got a kind of Saint Amelia ferryport bench.
Do you know, I did some Googling.
Okay.
Saint Amelia is the patron saint of bruises, arm injuries, and fevers, which I think are all very appropriate for a Silent Hill game. Obviously, he's got the sort of cannula in his hand, so I wonder whether there's a connection there. Is Saint Amelia a real place? Is it not a real place? Who knows?
We were just sort of looking at Saint Amelia a moment ago. In fact, I mean, this is obviously all Silent Hill, and they've just been talking about the cast recently, kind of star-studded.
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah,
driven from the Odyssey, actually.
It's such a cinematic game, and I think part of that is down to the absolutely meticulous level of detail in the environments. It is astonishing. Speaking as someone who grew up in the UK in the 90s, the number of nailed-on references to things that I had long forgotten existed but are in this game, it gives the whole thing such a sense of place and such a sense of authenticity. And I obviously, this is going to be a global game and lots of people are going to be playing it worldwide. I really hope that level of authenticity comes across to people from other countries, like the American audience, for example, who I trust that it will, because, having played Silent Hill F, which took Silent Hill to a very different location, that felt authentic and well considered and stuff. But it's the mise en scène, not to use the most pretentious word I will use today, is so brilliant in this game. It's really, really hard to overstate how detailed and careful they've been about all this stuff to make sure it is completely evocative of the time period and the place.
I mean, you've done the hands-on rather than me, but I know what you mean about the detail, the authenticity, the specificity. And I think even if you didn't grow up in the UK or specifically Scotland in the 90s, there's something about specificity where even if you don't recognize it from your own life, you're like, that is way too specific to just be kind of plucked out of nowhere. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, what are the kind of specific things that jumped out to you as a child of the 90s?
It's things like specific models of telephone. It's like specific models of car. There's these old sort of Ford Escorts, which were everywhere, it seemed like, in the 90s. It's charity
telephone
donation.
Box right there.
There you go.
Right
the telephone box looks like an old BT telephone box.
Yes.
They use all the same fonts. There are these like charity collection boxes, which are just exactly as I remember. They don't really exist anymore because no one carries money around with them anymore. But back in the day, all these sort of donation boxes, the road signs, the road markings,
like
everything.
Notice boards.
There is.
Notice boards, yeah.
In the doctor's surgery, someone has used word art. Do you remember Microsoft Word word art?
Yes.
And that was like whiplash. Immediately I was back in the 90s.
With like some
better
kind of
make
drop
my
shadow.
school presentation fancy and add a little bit of word art.
Some kind of gradient colouring going on, printed on an inkjet.
It's bang on. The architecture, the materials, that particular stone. So I didn't grow up in Scotland, but I grew up in the north of England, and you see a lot of houses made with that particular stone, that sort of layout. There's one of your old Ford Escorts, although not branded. That's an old Ford Transit. Jane, I'm sure you came here for the car spotting.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, and obviously the CRT, the portable CRT, which again is very 90s technology, although my memory is that if you had one of those in the 90s, you were extremely rich.
Well, that's what I was going to say, because here it's kind of like, the screen quality is not very good, and the signal's obviously not very good, thanks Silent Hill. But I remember there used to be like prizes on game shows. Like if you had a portable TV, you were probably a millionaire.
I mean, it probably cost £100 but because it was 1996, that's probably the equivalent of about £250. So.
But you were really living large if you had a portable TV.
Yeah. Someone at school had one, and I was mind blown. But it's a gameplay mechanic as well as just a prop, and this is the thing. I think it sort of borrows a bit from Alien Isolation, because we were talking about the requirement for that extra sense, and that's what this thing offers you, because when an enemy is near, you'll get a new frequency on your sort of tuning bar. You'll need to tune into it. Once you've tuned into it, it's sort of locked in and you can skip to it, but each one represents an enemy in your immediate vicinity, and you can if you're not looking directly at it, it gives you a sort of direction marker, but then you can bring it around and you can see through walls and see the enemy on the screen up to the point where the resolution it gets far away enough that the resolution's too poor. But this is your sort of detective vision or your hitman instinct or any of those things. It's your extra sense that makes the stealth less frustrating, right? I think it's an underrated quality in a horror game to not relentlessly sort of kill you, because I think by the fifth or sixth time you've been killed by an enemy, the fear is gone. You become frustrated, right? So I think giving you the tools to really manage your situation gives you many more of those lucky escapes where you nearly got caught but you just made it, and those just ratchet up the tension. So I think what this game has recognized, and John McKellen, who is the writer-director of this game, did work on the original Alien Isolation, so I think they've taken the sort of learnings from that, but adapted it in their own Silent Hill way. And then in addition to it being this sort of motion tracker enemy sort of detection thing, which is not out of tone for the Silent Hill series. Obviously in Silent Hill 2 you've got the radio and you get static when you're close to an enemy. It's all different solutions to this problem, but it's also a sort of story and puzzle mechanic as well, because what will often happen is you'll get specific frequencies that will reveal like videos that can run on a loop, and those might give you clues in the environment that you need to then go and look at to work out combinations for things. So it's a very puzzle forward game. I didn't really get a lot in the way of combat, but there's a lot of running and hiding and a lot of puzzle work, which pacing wise I think it's really, really nice. There's not the sense that the town is completely overrun by enemies when you first start out. but it makes those encounters with them a bit more impactful when there's just a handful and you've really got to sort of evade them. But yeah, it's a puzzle. The puzzles seem great. It's got a really nice pace. Again, what I was saying about being able to play an hour and a half, you got a sense of the pacing. So the first few puzzles are like, well, you'll be in a single building and all the solutions to that puzzles will be within that building. But then as the game sort of progresses, you'll have to revisit places and backtrack and go to different places and remember things from other houses and, you know, the doctor's surgery and such like that. So it's expanding out really, really nicely. I can't wait to play more. And I also really like a first-person perspective for a Silent Hill game. I like that in the same way that Resi reinvented itself as a series a few years ago, Silent Hill is doing exactly the same thing. Silent Hill now doesn't necessarily need to be the town of Silent Hill. It can be Silent Hill F, it can be Town 4, but also it doesn't necessarily now need to be a third-person game as well, and I think that's important for the series going forward. I like this idea that a Silent Hill game can be a different type of experience, and I'm so excited for this one. I've played an hour and a half. I want to play more.
Silent Hill is a state of mind now.
Yeah.
Not just one.
And let me tell you, my
town.
mind is in a state after playing Silent Hill.
It's my assumption, right, that in Silent Hill Townfall, we're going to get the Silent Hill, like the scary transition, where the town is scary and then it's really scary.
Yes.
Is that something that happened in your demo?
I didn't quite get to that point.
Okay.
Mainly because I was looking at charitable donation boxes for too long.
Important games journalism.
There is a sort of that kind of Silent Hill alternate sort of flipped, world.
That filled, playing Silent Hill games, especially like the early ones, filled me with so much dread. Because as scared as you are, there's so much worse coming down the pipe, Yeah,
absolutely. But I think what's interesting about it, I got glimpses of the sort of other side. There are brief moments where you're sort of in that world, but I hadn't gotten to the point where the entire town had sort of transitioned. But what I will say is that although this looks like a completely, not completely normal environment, but a normal environment, I did wander to the end of town, and at the end of town is an enormous concrete wall that, reaching up into the sky with a load of pipes on it and stuff. So even at this point where it seems like everything is normal-ish, this is not a normal place, and there is something strange going on. He's certainly not normal. Sure. Yeah.
No, I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen in any of like the trailers or gameplay the wall you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I love that idea. There's this the phobia of like really colossal structures. Megalophobia,
probably.
Something like that. And I love that. I think that is such a cool, creepy idea.
All of a sudden, you feel so small and so enclosed, and it changes the feeling and the tone of the town immediately. So I was really glad I didn't maybe get to the end of the demo per se, but I really spent a lot of time exploring the environment and really soaking it all in.
You were doing research.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just so excited to explore more of this town.
And then like that wall, I like that as an inventive alternative solution to the thing in a Silent Hill where there's, I don't know, just like a massive chasm.
Yeah,
just a massive pit that you can't get across, and now there's a massive wall. Oh, here we go.
You can see the CRT thing here, so you can see the enemy through there. Yeah, it's super creepy, and you have to manually tune it in first.
Yeah,
so you're already slightly tense. But
let me just tune into this TV station. Yeah. I'm so amused by the idea that you have like different monster stations.
Yeah,
let me just tune into Monster A station and see what's going on.
It's like BBC One, but Monster One.
Monster A, Monster One. Yeah.
They're quite not, I wouldn't say easy to evade, but like certainly at this stage of the game, quite predictable in their movement. So it really eases you in, and you can kind of see it will go to one end and then it will sprint back to the other. So it does give you timing to, but then if you do get spotted, they will pursue you, and you can hide from them as well. So if you get away quickly enough, that's a rude word.
Oh no!
But I'm absolutely besotted with this game. I think it's going to be amazing. I'm so glad it's coming out soon. And just little things like. The reason the motion tracker in Alien Isolation was so good was it focuses your attention on a part of the screen, and you're not looking at the main bit of the screen. So I think we're going to get a bit of the game playing with that sort of thing, where you're looking at what's going on down here. Maybe you're looking at a puzzle clue or something, and you're not sure exactly where the creatures are as well. So
that's a very like horror cinema trick.
Yeah,
where
exactly.
It's like misdirection, like leave the eye over here, so there's actually something going on over here.
Yeah,
very clever.
No, enormously excited for this.
Guy.
Yeah. But yeah, it's.
What do you make of the monsters? They seem like fairly classic.
Yeah.
Did you see anything other than these kind of guys?
I didn't, but I think they're sort of representative of what we'd expect from a Silent Hill game. it'd be interesting to see what they represent in terms of the lead character's psyche. This is clearly the sort of weirder version of the town.
Yeah. When it's gone full Silent
Hill. The
Hill.
pipes have sort of exploded out of the ground and stuff like that.
That's a great question you have, though, because we all know Silent Hill is a sort of manifestation of your guilt. And what's he done? Do you know what I mean?
He's looking for a woman who I think is his partner, but there's a sense that he's been sick and that maybe, I don't know how much they'll sort of lean into this thing, but maybe this all is entirely within his head and he is not recovered. But it's sort of
kind of Jacob's Ladder type.
Yeah,
situation.
but it plays on elements of that Silent Hill 2 theme as well, of the person who is left looking after someone who's sick, and there's the sense that his partner is struggling and can't stick around, can't bear to be there. So obviously Silent Hill is a psychological horror game as much as anything else, and I think that stuff is going to be well served in Townfall.
I mean, that's part of the genius of Silent Hill 2, that it is a fantasy horror, a kind of nightmarish supernatural horror, but the relatability and like the real human terror of, I mean, I don't want to get too deep. It's Gamescom 2026, but like sickness and the people you love falling sick.
Yeah,
so like that
absolutely.
is the terror that like really sinks its claws into you.
Yeah, and there's definitely hints towards that in the later story. And I think John McKellen and the team there, they know exactly what they're doing in terms of narrative. So I have strong hopes that this is going to be one of the games of the year.
What a Gamescom for us between Alien Isolation 2 and Silent Hill Townfall.
It's brilliant. Yeah.
Good job. Right. Now it is time for us to take a little break from all the horrors, but there's more horror to go around, so stick with us. Let's all stretch our legs, hydrate, and meet right back here after these short messages. But seriously though, Mike, don't go away.
I'm not leaving this sofa. The only way I'm stretching my legs is out on this sofa.
You can stretch your legs out. You can, if you stick with us, you'll see Mike's legs stretched after these short messages. It's a guarantee.
Some of the IGN folks are going to have to sit on there. I'm not putting my dirty shoes up on there.
Well, we'll see you soon, back on Gamescom's day.
Yep.
IGN Store has everything you need to level up your life.
Red 6 standing by.
Refresh your wardrobe with official gear you won't find anywhere else. From Fallout, Expedition 33, Romeo's a Dead Man, and more. Treat yourself to the coolest collectibles like an adorable SKA plush, your very own Assassin's Creed Hidden Blade, and a fully functional Pip-Boy 3000. Or kick back and relax to your favorite video game soundtracks on vinyl. Whatever you need, IGN Store has you covered. Head to store.ign.com and start shopping today.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies, and so much more.
See? It's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
Do you want to be the very best like no one ever was? Streamline your journey to becoming a master trainer with Planet Pokemon. Choose your Pokemon, filtering by type, stats, or game availability. Then use the full team builder to assemble an unbeatable lineup. Plan out the optimal set of moves, items, and abilities. Play to your strengths by analyzing your team's resistances and offensive coverage. Or really maximize your Poke potential by digging into the stats by adjusting EVs and IVs. And save multiple team builds for different strategies in different games. Plan your dream team today at planetpokemon.com.
And we're back for the final stretch of the Gamescom 2026 Ox Show, I think we're calling it now, from the Gamescom studio stage, brought to you by Outside Xbox, which is me, and also Mike, also Ellen, who we hope you're doing much better now, and Andy back at base. So as we progress through the various horrors of Gamescom 2026, all of them game-based, to be clear.
All of them excellent.
I wanted to talk about Ontos, actually, which is not
like
playable or out here on the show floor, but it was part of opening night live.
Yes.
And like really one of like the standout trailers for me. It's got sci-fi, it's got space, it's also got judging by the trailer that we're looking at now, kind of those creepy like moral sort of thought / science experiments where such as we are looking at right now.
Indeed.
Which I think is such a cool way to do these kind of like philosophical thought experiments, but also someone's got half of their face missing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm all about that. Except it's I've been looking into the game. I have to confess I didn't know that much about it before.
Right.
It's set in a hotel on the moon.
Okay.
Which sounds lovely.
Sounds pleasant.
I'm all
until
about
you
that.
see the
Until
rack
the
of
rat
rats.
server. Yeah. So this like rats wired up in parallel or series or
with a human personality transferred over to them, which is such a fabulous sci-fi conceit.
Yeah. Is it a metaphor for AI? We couldn't say at this stage. It's a metaphor for something.
We coined the term Rat GPT during
you did.
during the that was Ellen's. So yeah, I think it does feel a bit like that. Yeah, credit to Ellen for an excellent pun.
Yeah, but this looks and then there's some sort of like Laster's fungal kind of infection going on here, and they announced Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah, I would
like,
show up for anything he's in.
An absolute legend. You might know him from Thor. You might know him from any number of things.
He's in Dune, right? As
he
well?
was in Dune.
He was in Andor.
Tons of
class act. That guy.
Tons of classy roles.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's got quite a stylized visual style. Do you know what I mean? They're not going for like hyper-realism in the way that Townfall is, but it's certainly effective enough based on the footage I've seen.
So this is from Frictional, who did Soma and Amnesia. So they have their pedigree and then some when it comes to horror experiences. They're talking about how there are all these like narrative moral choices.
Yep.
So I imagine it's going to be like like the trolley problem, but not as basic as the trolley problem.
Yeah, of course.
If this rat server farm appears to have a consciousness,
do you keep it alive?
Yeah.
Or do you mulch the rats to?
Something like that is what I'm imagining, which I think is going to make a really, really fascinating game to play.
Yeah.
Maybe even we could do a 3 ways to play where we all make potentially. We all make different moral choices, and then we have to account for our
exactly. I have to explain why I mulch the rats or not.
Yeah, indeed.
I think it's a really interesting one, isn't it? It seems to have a little more to it than a sort of conventional creep around horror haunted house in space type thing. And I think that's exciting because I think Soma was quite unconventional as well in terms of it wasn't all about just straightforward scares. It was about a really unsettling, uneasy atmosphere, and it's not it's not brightly lit, but it's not the gloomiest, gnarliest looking location.
It has a colour palette.
Yeah, it's got colours. Yeah, absolutely.
Palette going on.
So
they've the developers at Frictional, they've kind of cited a existential terror as the thing they're going for, which I am fully on board for existential terror.
I'm up for any
Give me that.
new kind of terror that we've not had in video games. Yeah, I'm not sure I've ever had existential terror in a video game, and maybe now's the time.
I'm ready for it, and that and a moon hotel.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely ready for a moon hotel.
Yeah,
sick of regular boring Earth hotels.
Now that's coming in 2027,
Correct.
like a number of the games here at Gamescom 2026. But something that's coming much sooner than that is Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Now you are not long out of a Hellraiser demo, Mike.
Yeah, I'm a change. I've come back changed.
You've seen things, man.
Yeah, I've seen things.
How are you feeling? Have you recovered?
I am. It's sort of amazing to see a game that is completely unfettered in terms of the stuff it is prepared to show. There's only so much of it that we'll be able to show on YouTube.
Yeah, there's limited footage that we are going to be able to put on YouTube. Every
single minute there's either something sexy or something gory,
or both.
and occasionally both at the same time. So yeah, it's a really interesting game. Just to give you a bit of an idea.
Is that Hellraiser movie poster?
That's a poster for the game, Hellraiser Revival.
But
weirdly.
within the I see. This is a okay. I thought they were doing a meta thing, but I assume this is a promotional piece for like the special edition.
Yeah, I guess it's the kit you get.
Okay, my mind was being fully twisted.
Yeah. Well, as is
like that guy and
for,
that guy, and also that guy a little bit.
So those guys you can see there are sort of like cultists, basically. So there's clearly a sort of cult worshipping the Cenobites and things like that. So we played 2 sections, one of which was, like you can see in this video, in the real world, a kind of more conventional, like Resident Evil style experience, where you have a gun and you have the Genesis configuration, which is different from the Lament configuration.
How is it different?
Well, it's actually an offensive weapon to a degree, because you can use it to solve puzzles and interact with the environment, but also you can do things like pull electricity out of lights and then fire at enemies, or pull fire and contain it within the puzzle box and then fire it out. So it becomes a bit of a weapon in itself. Although I tried to do it too much at one point and it said insufficient suffering. So I was like, wow, oh no, I've run out of suffering, which is
I've never said that before.
Yeah, exactly.
I have insufficient suffering.
Insufficient suffering. And then you've got a bunch of weapons like shotguns and submachine guns, pistols, things like that. The combat's the demo was about 60% of the way through the game, they were saying, so the combat was actually quite demanding, and you had enemies that had sort of armor on and stuff, but it played well. Like I think Saber have got a really good thing going on at the moment, where they just like have a really competent like baseline in all their games. Everything feels pretty good, everything looks pretty good, and I think the same applies for Hellraiser. And then post that sort of realistic section, I then ended up in the labyrinth, which you'll remember from the films, which is like this endlessly shifting corridors and concrete and things like that. And that was much less about combat. As I understand it, you will end up hiding from certain enemies, like the Chatterer, the Cenobite with the teeth. That is an enemy that I think will stalk you through elements of that world. And then there's Butterball, who's the kind of bigger Cenobite. He's more about kind of like messing with your head and things like that, and giving you visions and stuff like that. So it's a very different vibe once you end up in the labyrinth. But it almost feels like 2 sort of different games. But they were saying, roughly they're expecting a kind of 10-hour playtime, and about 2.5 of those hours will be spent in the labyrinth, solving puzzles and learning more about the storyline and things like that. But it is so gory, and there's lots of nudity, and no punches are pulled whatsoever. And I think Hellraiser fans would like nothing less. I think
you kind of have to. Yeah. I feel like you don't get a Hellraiser license and then go half for it.
I don't think Clive Barker would allow it, right? Clive Barker is still in charge of the license and in charge of the property. And I think he spoke to the development team and wanted to make sure that they really understood what Hellraiser was about. But it's fascinating. I've never played a game like it, because I don't think there's ever been a game that is, as I say, this unfettered in terms of content. Like, it's absolutely the game you don't want your mum, significant other, kids walking in on you playing, because it is full throttle.
We've been talking about making a video, and it's for another time. We're not going to do it right now, but like all the things Mike has seen that we cannot show you on YouTube.
It will just be me describing stuff we can't show you on YouTube. So if you really want to know about all the stuff you can't see on YouTube,
if that sounds like a thing you would enjoy, sort of like an audiobook from Mike on some of the worst things he's ever seen.
Chapter 1.
Yeah.
Piercings.
I also want to shout out, Mike, give you credit for you kind of got hit with a migraine during Hellraiser. And it's not Hellraiser's fault.
No,
but
no, not at all.
Having like a kind of migraine aura and a Hellraiser demo at the same time is next level.
It was
Gamescom.
immersive, yeah. I get these sort of atypical migraines where I get the visual disturbances and stuff. And I think just the intensity of Gamescom and late nights and all that stuff caught up with me. And as I'm playing Hellraiser, I see my vision starting to go a bit weird. And it really added to the experience, I'll say.
Extra dimension, so to speak. Hellraiser appropriate. I actually went to a game developer talk at Develop, which is a conference in Brighton in the UK in the summer. And there was a team there talking about intimacy coordinators in video games.
Right.
And at the time, they couldn't say what they were working on, because I think the game wasn't actually announced at that point.
Right.
It became apparent later. But it was so curious to hear them talking about intimacy coordinators for, performers in games.
Performance
but
capture.
they kept saying, but it's not a sexy game. These are not exact quotes, but they were talking about how
Depends what you're into.
it's not, but it's not.
Yeah.
That's not the intention. Like it's not a game. It's not a dating simulator. It's not. They're not. That's not what they're going for. But it is incidentally very much in their game. And I'm like, that's not something I've heard of before. Like, I know intimacy coordinators are a thing.
Yeah.
But in that kind of framing.
Yeah,
So
I think there's a lot of firsts happening with the Hellraiser game.
Happening.
But yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's got so much of this is something that is, the same in the films, but it's got so much of the language of sort of eroticism, but in a horrible kind of twisted kind of way. And the developers were saying they don't want. There is the odd jump scare in there, but that's really not what they're going for. They're going for just a really unsettling, uneasy atmosphere, and obviously a lot of the gore and the kind of the body horror and stuff like that is. They do a really, really good job of it. It's not much like Silent Hill Townfall is psychological horror, and
Ontos is existential terror.
Horror.
Yeah,
we've got this kind of really unsettling body horror. Making you question your own sort of instincts as a human, your own sort of human condition. So fascinating game.
So that's all the different flavors of horror going on here at Gamescom 2026. All right, now I'm sorry to say that's all the time we have. The producers and crew have broken down the barricade. They're through our defenses, and so it's time to surrender the Gamescom stage to some very important game developers who have interviews to do. What a lovely time we've had, Mike.
It's been lovely. Thanks so much for having us.
The average Cinefix movie list features nearly 100 different films and approximately 25 minutes worth of wall-to-wall deep dive analysis. To simulate that pace for this 30-second ad, we're featuring 26 different films, and before you say it, no, that math does not check out. We're not math people, we're movie people. We can't even count down from 10 without ending up at, 96. Subscribe to IGN Movies and TV for more Cinefix movie lists. Bad at math, great at movies.
IGN Playlist is the best way to track your game collection. Now you can even import your entire Steam library to Playlist, making it easier than ever to review games, show off your collection to the world, and finally chip away at that massive backlog you keep meaning to get to. IGN Playlist, check it out.
IGN Store has everything you need to level up your life.
Red 6 standing by.
Refresh your wardrobe with official gear you won't find anywhere else. Treat yourself to the coolest collectibles like an adorable SKA plush, your very own Assassin's Creed Hidden Blade, and a fully functional Pip-Boy 3000. Head to store.ign.com and start shopping today. Do you want to be the very best like no one ever was? Streamline your journey to becoming a master trainer with Planet Pokemon. Choose your Pokemon, filtering by type, stats, or game availability. Then use the full team builder to assemble an unbeatable lineup. Plan out the optimal set of moves, items, and abilities. Play to your strengths by analyzing your team's resistances and offensive coverage. Or really maximize your Poke potential by digging into the stats by adjusting EVs and IVs. And save multiple team builds for different strategies in different games. Plan your dream team today at planetpokemon.com.
Welcome to the biggest gaming playground in the world, where 500,000 people come together to play, connect, and celebrate across Cologne. 1,600 exhibitors. The biggest names in the gaming industry, bringing countless games for you to explore and dominate. Get set for Gamescom's unique indie area, where you're in control of the most creative and unique projects from more than 400 indie studios. And if that's not enough, don't miss Gamescom Awesome Indie Show, our show produced by IGN featuring the hottest new titles from the indie universe. or become the hero yourself and step into the Gamescom cosplay contest, bringing cosplayers and fans together from around the globe for an unforgettable community experience. Can't make it to Gamescom in person? Visit our website, gamescom.global, and experience all program highlights via our content hub, Gamescom Now. The experts at IGN are gearing up to bring you full days of live streams straight to Twitch and YouTube. Oh, hey, Epi! Crashing the party? Jump into Gamescom Epics on our website and claim your loot. Next up, Gamescom Cares. Our initiative for a safer, more sustainable, and inclusive Gamescom. Speaking of inclusive, the Gamescom City Festival is taking over the city with live music for free and all kinds of fun. Gamescom is more than a single event, it's a global family. With Gamescom Dev, Gamescom LAN, Gamescom Asia, and Gamescom LATAM, we're unlocking dynamic experiences and connecting gamers worldwide. Welcome to the heart of gaming. Welcome to Gamescom.
That was a very special Gamescom edition episode of Outside Xbox. You can find lots more Outside Xbox on their YouTube channel, which can technically be viewed using the Xbox YouTube app. So hey, wouldn't that actually be inside Xbox? My mind is blown. Anyway, up next, it's time for the IGN UK podcast and GameScoop after that. But first, we've got a trailer for Tempest Vitae, a time-traveling sci-fi Metroidvania FPS. Check it out.
Hello and welcome to the IGN UK podcast, coming to you all the way from Gamescom. I'm here with Jim Trinker.
Hello.
And Dale Driver.
It's me. I'm back.
He's back. You were meant to be doing this time last year, but what happened like a night before recording, Dale?
Oh, it wasn't the night. It was the morning.
The morning.
I headbutted a corner in my wardrobe and split my head open. So yeah, I had a giant plaster across my forehead. Yeah. So it wasn't the best look for a show. My boss did say to wear a giant hat, but I didn't think that was the vibe.
No. It's good to have you this year, though. And I suppose we should, we've only got so long here in the studio. It'll be a slightly shorter podcast than usual. So we should really crack on with the most important stuff while we're here in Germany. A couple of nights ago, we did have Doner Kebab.
Is that what we're leading with?
Yes, that's what we're leading with. I was quite actually concerned by your choice, though, Dale, because you went with no sauce, no salad, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't feeling
that. That
it.
isn't ours. This is a generic picture. This is more what
mine
it
did
should
look significantly less saucy.
It was drier, I tell you that.
Yeah.
What is that your usual when you go?
No, do you know what? Normally I get some barbecue sauce on it, but I just
barbecue.
Yeah, I just didn't. Yeah, sorry. Chili sauce is fine as well. I can rock with that, but I wasn't feeling it the other night.
What's your cast your mind back to maybe when you were 20, Jim? 3 a.m. What are you getting on your doner kebab?
Oh, just everything.
Everything.
Just everything.
Really?
Yeah. Sauce and salad, boss. Yeah, everything.
Really?
I want extra jalapenos. I want all of it.
I'm somewhere in between. I get the chili sauce because I like that little kick. It brings it to life, I feel. Then I get a ton of just lettuce. That's the only side. Just lettuce. Just that freshness just cut through everything.
But he dumped all the lettuce on top of it the other day, so he had to work for a sea of lettuce.
It was basically half lettuce.
You like a bit of lemon juice in there? Or?
No, I'm not. No, citrus kind of isn't really where I go.
Yeah, but if you like the cut through, that cuts through.
Yeah, but I want the freshness to cut through. Anyway, should we talk about The Witcher?
Yeah.
We got a brand new look at the expansion for The Witcher 3 this week. Me and Jim got to watch almost an hour from Songs of the Past. It felt pretty much like the opening 45 minutes or so of the expansion.
Yeah,
pretty
it was.
much.
Yeah, it's like The Hangover, isn't it? Because he starts off after a night out, classic Geralt.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it sat next to Doug Cockle, who was not announced to be there. He was just in there watching his own work, which I really relate to.
It was kind of almost pretty much uncut. The odd little fade to black to save a little bit of time, but as you kind of expect from The Witcher, a lot of kind of talking, a lot of setting the scene. We're in a new area called Letten of the world, and basically the setup for this is our friend Dandelion has gone missing. And we have to go find him. We meet members of his family, and we're kind of set on this already, Geralt's kind of coming out of retirement to find his friend. There's a new mystery, and we have to find this mysterious well. It's all very classic Witcher stuff, a kind of twisting tale, it seems, full of mystery, and I imagine monsters. Did you kind of feel like you were back home, Jim? It was kind of comforting.
Yeah. See, I think it's interesting because obviously we've got the fourth game coming up, and they didn't say if this DLC ties into the fourth game, but I imagine it does somehow. Yeah. But obviously with the new remaster and everything, the second remaster of this game in as many years, so we've got the remaster, and then we've got this new DLC a little bit later on. I keep joking that it's like it's doing the same job as The Force Awakens in that it's there to remind you why you love the world.
Feels like a bridge, right, to the fourth game.
And so, you see, Force Awakens was kind of like Star Wars, the Star Wars, right? So it was like a greatest hits package. I think this DLC is similar. It's as you say, it's all based around Jaskier, Dandelion. We find out more about him. He's a real breakout character from the TV show as well. So I think it's real kind of fan service going on. Everyone loves that character. It's got shades of Toussaint from the Blood and Wine DLC. It feels a little bit more rustic than that, but it's got a similar sort of that beautiful golden hour lighting that runs all the way through it. And it starts off with just humor. It's really funny. That bit when so the first bit we see is Geralt wakes up and he sees somebody who isn't Dandelion mucking about with Dandelion's loot. Mm-hmm. And so he goes
as in
over.
His musical instrument, not his treasure.
Yeah, not his treasure, not his AK-47s or whatever. So he goes over and he's like, I recognise that loot, but it doesn't belong to you. Mm-hmm. And there's a little bit of a kerfuffle, and it just ends. It ends with a fist fight, obviously, and I think it was done beautifully, perfectly, the way that the guy puts the loot down very carefully, because it's a very sort of that loot has plot armor.
yeah. You can't be damaging that loot.
And it was like, I burst out laughing. I think I was the only one in the theater who did, but I think it's very good. But did you notice that for a good sort of 10 minutes of it, we were just in a family drama.
Yeah, we were just kind of around, like, so we go to Dandelion's home, which is this kind of like fancy like manor home. He's obviously he's well off. I'll tell you, his family's well off.
Yeah, it turns out he's a bit of a Tory.
We kind of meet is it his mother or his grandmother, or
I think it's his grandmother.
Yeah, and she's not really happy to see Geralt, really, and I think it's probably because, is it Leela, the new character?
Yeah.
Is Yaskia's cousin?
Yeah,
and kind of she kind of feels like someone that Geralt might lead astray, but also she has eyes for adventure, so it seems like she'll be kind of maybe almost taking Dandelion's place in this expansion as kind of your main companion at times.
Yeah.
And she seemed quite cool. We got to know her a bit, but like you said, there was a whole 10-minute segment where we was kind of around this like fireplace lit like big like dining room, which really like kind of like really good writing as you'd expect from The Witcher, and
great,
the performances again spot on. Like Doug Cockle just kind of slipping back into it seamlessly. It seems. And but yeah, when you're seeing that late in the day at Gamescom, and you've had a very long day and a very long night. You do kind of slip in. It was very warming and but comforting, like I said, almost too comforting to the point where I was like, oh, I feel like I'm at home at 10 p.m. watching, a quiet bit of Game of Thrones, and I could slip away into a dream.
It did feel very Game of Thronesy, but it was that good as well. You say it was really well written. The motion capture is incredible. It's a step above what's in the base game, which obviously was made a long time ago.
Yes.
So it does feel like a bit of a bit of a last hurrah for that engine.
Well, exactly. It's 11 years on now. By the time this expansion comes out, it'll be 12 years. And with that, like we said, we've got the proper remastered version of The Witcher 3, I guess, where they've kind of taken a look at everything from the look of it, the lighting, the animations, how the horse controls. And crucially, I think maybe the main thing for a lot of people, the combat. Because there's anything people always bring up with The Witcher is like, it's a brilliant game, but the combat's never been great. And I know, Dale, that's kind of what initially turned you off The Witcher when it first came out back in the day. Are you tempted? Is this kind of are you going to go back?
Yeah, I'm somewhat of a heathen, and I was always like, no, this isn't for me. I only played about an hour or so. I got into the first main quest where you have to do combat, and I just thought it felt so dated and horrible to me that I was like, I don't know if I can play for a lot of this to see all the great things here. However, I'm an enormous fan of Cyberpunk. I've platinumed that game twice. It's ridiculous. Right? I love that so much. I love what CD Projekt Red have to offer. So them saying that they've fixed the combat, I think now that's the thing I need, right, to actually dive back in and actually love this game.
It's still a bit of a question mark because we haven't got to play it ourselves. I will say, Jim, from watching it, it looked a bit slicker. The animation, it still fundamentally looked like the same combat, if you know what I mean. It's not like they've completely reworked it, but if they've made it more responsive, a bit more feedback, because to me it never really properly felt like the impact or the feedback wasn't quite there. If I'm sticking a sword in someone, Jim, I really want to feel it. You know what I mean?
I think the second revision of the combat they did really worked when they cut down the animation times and stuff, but they keep sort of trying to find that balance, don't they, between like a realistic animation and a snappy, and it's difficult because the aesthetic is so naturalistic. You can't just have Mega Man sprite combat.
Of course, yeah.
So I think it is a balancing act, but it did look a bit quicker, a bit slicker, a bit nippier. Which, if anything, Geralt's meant to be a bit older. It's obviously set after everything. So if anything, you'd think he was slowing down. But
I just need that moment to moment to be constantly fun.
Yeah.
For me, so obviously I want to appreciate great storytelling and great world building, but if the moment to moment is not fun, then I'm not going to play it. So this sounds like potentially I'm definitely going to give it a try.
You're a massive Game of Thrones fan. There's definitely there's all the politics of the world. There's so much Game of Thrones in the Witcher stories. So
yeah, it's definitely your thing, Dale.
I know.
Sort yourself out is what we're saying.
It could have been I wasn't in the right mood, but the combat just wasn't doing it for me. But yes, I think I'm ready to give it a go.
By the time you got through the base game, both expansions, and then the new one, you're looking at almost 200 hours there. So
I'm soon going to have a second child, so I don't know if I'm going to have the time for this, especially with another big open world game coming
themselves,
out.
But especially when you've got a revamped skill tree. like toddlers don't have a skill tree. It's not like you unlock the next thing they can do. It's kind of like that, but you don't get to choose when it happens.
I might just put him in front of The Witcher, watch him play it instead. Yeah, it's child appropriate.
Yeah, we did see a boss fight against I think he was called the Slumbering Knight. He was kind of like, it feels like the main villain, as you kind of see in the key art of the new expansion, is this sort of almost tree-like. I don't even know if we know really what she is. She seems like, I mean, that's the big mystery, right? Is it like, I mean, it's definitely magical, I can tell you that much. But the Slumbering Knight seemed to be like either like a servant of hers or like... And
an ancestor of Dandelions, right?
Yeah, well, Leah was like, what happened? It's like she recognised, maybe I missed something, but maybe she definitely recognised who it was that had kind of been turned into this almost like taken over by like branches and turned into this almost like knight that had branches for arms.
And it looked there was remnants of like what he would have been dressed like, and it looked very flamboyant, very very rich, the kind of stuff that Dandelion would wear. So I think it was meant to be a link.
I did think at first, was it Dandelion? So if they just killed him off,
did
like,
wonder,
you can't do that. You can't kill him.
Yeah. He
That
can't
can't
be
happen.
dead, surely.
No.
You wouldn't have time to narrate the thing.
The thing is, dandelions, they do die, but they're not perennials, are they? They don't come. Dandelions.
I'm only familiar with dandelions when they're mixed with burdock, I'm afraid.
Dandelion. Let's talk about dandelion and burdock for a minute. I've never. I can't tell you if I could tell you what it tastes.
Can you even buy it?
We're about to do an hour on soil
it.
science.
Oh, you can find it.
You say that, but I distinctly remember it's something like my nan gave me, and I don't think I've seen it in 25 years.
You could definitely find
it. It's like in Happy Shopper for 25p or something.
Is it?
Like, yeah.
It's the sort of thing Geralt would. I mean, he drinks anything, doesn't he? Let's be honest. But they have revamped the inventory system, so maybe there's a little slot for dandelion and burdock in there.
The only thing I remember about dandelion and burdock is thinking it was Coca-Cola at parties when I was a child.
No.
And then just the bitter disappointment of that.
No.
I was always more of a Tizer man in my youth. I had to go for an off-brand.
Are we just talking about what drinks we like?
Yeah, I mean, we've got 2 more minutes. What else Witcher is there to talk about, Jim? It looks beautiful at night.
It does look beautiful. I mean, we also saw it was obviously the remastered version, the most current version, which I think will be available by the time we go home.
Right,
might be available today, actually, 29th, I think.
Of September, so next month, I think.
Oh, next month. I forgot what month.
Don't
it was.
get ahead of yourself.
Yeah. All right. Okay. It's one of the. Okay, so it's one of the many things coming out in September.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So but it looks incredible, and for such and for what is the bones of a PS4 era game, they've done. It's just kept up with the times beautifully. They've put a lot of work into it, and not charged us for most of it. So
no.
Have they said how long it is? How long it's going to be?
I think it's as long as like the previous expansions, and they were long. They were like a good 20 out. They're basically
pretty
new
sure
games.
it's like Blood and Wine size.
Yeah.
Which I think. Like I reviewed Blood and Wine, and I said at the time, like, if they'd released this as The Witcher 4, I think they might have gotten away with it. It's that big, and I think this is just as big again.
They're so good at delivering these expansions, right?
I mean, they've had
relentless
help this time, right? Because it's co-developed by Rebel Wolves, not Rebel Wolves. That's a different studio.
Yeah, it's the guys who
Theory.
they did the Thaumaturge.
Yes. Which I felt was quite an interesting game, and you know what, CPR obviously they're like kind of the guardians of this game. They'll have signed off everything, but it kind of looks like a continuation of one of the greatest games of all time. And I mean, if we ever seen anything like this before, like a game over a decade old getting a new expansion, it's a crazy thing, right? Like,
I mean, World of Warcraft, I imagine.
That's like a live service game, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
Like a
No Man's Sky, but never gets an expansion. It's just always like iteration, I guess, or adding new things. But this is like, this is kind of crazy.
It's not quite precedented, is it? It's good though. I think it just speaks to how technology's kind of plateaued a bit,
Yeah.
Like, what is the difference between a PS5 and a PS4, really? Like, a caveman wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So,
yeah, but they wouldn't know anything.
Am I talking balls? Yeah, sorry.
They would also be like, "Who are you? What is this technology?"
They wouldn't even know what a doner kebab is.
Definitely wouldn't know what dandelion and burdock is.
But you know what I mean?
They'd have more chance of knowing what dandelion and burdock is than a doner kebab.
And a PS5.
Actually, no, because they put animals on a spit, didn't they? But they might have also mixed flowers. What even is burdock?
You should probably wrap this segment up, I think.
Yeah, maybe. We will be back shortly for more IGN UK podcast from Gamescom. But for now, we're going to take a little break.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and so much more.
See? It's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
IGN Plus is where your adventure begins.
What are you selling?
Plus is the place to get unlimited access to all the tools you need to beat your games.
Here's what you need to know for bringing down Gloomspawn.
Plus, awesome exclusive discounts on IGN Store.
Maybe this would tease open your money pouch.
Plus, ad-free browsing on IGN.com. Plus, unlimited game help tools like premium interactive maps with your own custom map markers, filters, marker notes, and more.
This will come in handy.
Plus, access to sweepstakes, giveaways, and free game keys.
Wow! Exactly.
Want more? Head to IGN.com/plus and start your adventure today.
The average Cinefix movie list features nearly 100 different films and approximately 25 minutes worth of wall-to-wall deep dive analysis. To simulate that pace for this 30-second ad, we're featuring 26 different films, and before you say it, no, that math does not check out. We're not math people, we're movie people. We can't even count down from 10 without ending up at, 96. Subscribe to IGN Movies and TV for more Cinefix movie lists. Bad at math, great at movies.
And we are back for more from the IGN UK podcast at Gamescom. Why don't we talk about another one of the biggest games that we've seen at the show this year? I was going to try to think it's so funny, but no, let's just talk about Fable, because I'm very excited about this game. I got the chance to see it a couple of times. I got to see the developers play through most of a quest for about 15-20 minutes, and then I got to play for about half an hour, 40 minutes myself as well, the first time we've ever got to try it. And yeah, I'm still very excited, if not more excited than I already was about Fable. What do you want to know first? Because I've got a bit of everything for you. I've got a bit of quest, got a bit of story, got a bit of world, got a lot of combat, which is the main thing.
I was going to say, I mean, we had a little chat about this over on...
It was lovely, actually.
Yeah, over on the old YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And the one-button combat, gone.
Multiple
Peter
buttons
Molyneux
now.
excised.
There's still a lot of that Peter Molyneux would love, though, because chickens are still at the forefront of everything.
Yeah, he did love abusing chickens.
Yeah, and you can do that here. Should we get straight into the chickens?
Can I ask a question about chickens? So I've never played Fable, right? So it seems like booting chickens is a significant thing with
it's
Fable.
Whimsy. A bit of whimsy.
How much do you actually do it?
As much as you want.
Is it just like there's always the option, so you're always going to do it if
you
they're
can
nearby?
move them if you want.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's one of the first jokes in the original.
Right.
It's kind of carried through.
It's British charm, though. Do you not agree?
Yeah.
I mean, sure, yeah. I would always boot a chicken if I was given the option.
IGN, animal abuse is charming.
And often I'd actually go for a chicken doner over a lamb one.
I'm a mixed fan. We go back to doner.
Mixed is good. Mixed is good.
Mixed best of both worlds.
Why not? Mix. I like lamb shish and chicken doner.
Yeah,
that is my chosen combination.
Yeah.
Have you ever made doner at home? I've done it a few times.
No,
it's quite good. You can.
I'll show on a giant spit.
No, I'll show you my recipe how to do it. You make it all flat and then you put tinfoil on top. It comes out great. It's a little bit more healthy at home as well. I'll share my recipe.
Okay, Fable. Can we all respect that Hayley Atwell's on our screen right now?
Hayley as
well. They lost the kebab B-roll. Get back to Fable.
Don't show the kebab. We're moving on to Fable. Okay, chickens. So chickens do come into the combat in interesting ways because spellcasting is a big part of Fable's combat. You have your standard melee stuff, which feels perfectly good, and a ranged option in the shape of different sorts of bows, and a repeating crossbow and a longbow to use at different points. But the spells are really where it comes alive, and you basically hold in the right trigger, and then it'll bring up a multi-select menu where each of the face buttons attaches to a different spell. So you can have 4 different spells equipped at any time, and you can swap those in on the fly. And the combinations and the synergy between those is where it really comes alive, I think. So, for example, I fought a load of skeleton enemies, which would, once you killed them, would sometimes turn into I don't know why I rolled my R wraiths. That would fly around.
Sylvester McCoy.
Yes. But, for example, you can mess around with these skeletons. The enemy AI has, like, funny little quirks, too. Like, for example, if you whack off their heads with the big 2-handed hammer, they'll be like aimless. So if it's a skeleton with a bow, they'll just suddenly start just like aiming or firing into the sky. Like, if you shoot off their legs, they'll go on the floor and like crawl towards you and try and like hit you. You can play around with them in very interesting ways, but you can also, of course, let's get to the chickens. One of the spells is called Befoul, which means you can turn any enemy into a chicken. And because these were skeletons, when you turned them into a chicken, they turned into undead chickens. So they were like little glowy green and like looked, didn't look like healthy enough to eat. But if you then chuck a fireball at them, it turns into a roast chicken.
That's good. Wait, what? Hang on. It was a skeleton a second ago.
It turned to an undead chicken. I can't quite pinpoint, and I talked to Ralph Fulton, the director, and we couldn't. I don't have a definitive answer if that is an undead roast chicken, if it would be good enough to eat or not. But it was definitely roasted.
But if it's an undead roast, yeah, surely that meat is not edible.
Yeah, I normally eat dead chickens.
Yes, but there's a difference between dead and undead, though.
There is. Yeah,
the flesh is rotting at that point.
Yeah, but if you've roasted it, can you roast rotting flesh enough to the point where it's edible?
Probably not. I think if it's gone to the point of rot, then you're too far gone.
But you can also punt those chickens if you want. There's also more exciting things. Like my favourite actual combination probably was there's like a levitate spell where you can pull like multiple enemies up into the air. They'll hover for a while. You can leave them to hang if you want in the air for a while, where you focus on others.
Is that a little bit like Force Awakens?
A little bit. Yeah. There is a little bit. You also have kind of a force push as well you can use. But I like to leave them up in the air, focus on a few other enemies. Then you can even press the levitate spell again to bring them crashing down and do damage.
Do you slam them or do they just fall with gravity?
You slam them. I think if you leave them long enough, they'll just fall.
Right.
But you can also, if you have you can combine it with other spells. So if you have the lightning attack spell, you can then, when they're hovering in the air, put lightning down on each of them, they'll kind of burst into bits in midair. So there's a lot going on here. This isn't simple combat. I feel like people have seen certain clips online and go, oh, this looks a bit rough. Is that? Didn't feel rough to play, I can tell you that.
Sounds like Force Unleashed.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. So that's fine.
Fantasy Force Unleashed.
Yeah. Stop comparing everything to Force Unleashed.
You can do some parries, and also it kind of, I don't want to compare it to like Doom Eternal, that would be mad, or like Control, but it does have a bit of that element, as much as you do want to be on the front foot, because in order to get your healing potions back, you need to collect health orbs around the arena, and you get those by killing enemies.
Oh, that old chestnut. That's
cool.
I
like that. I like that attack is the best form of defense.
I've got a question.
Yes.
I watched the video that you guys made where you spoke in depth about it. I really like the sound of the morality system, especially the word that is used.
Yes. So this is more in my hands-off time. I was talking. So I got to Bowerstone, which looks absolutely stunning, by the way. The capital city of Albion, like the way, like you can tell it's just been like handcrafted, like to almost perfection, because like it's just so like deliberately crooked. The streets are like all winding up, like everything looks a little off kilter, and it just looks beautiful. But at the center of that is the Heroes Guild, which is where our mission took us, and the proprietor of the Heroes Guild is Humphrey the Golden, who is like this legendary hero who's fallen on harder times, played by Matt King, Superhands from Peep Show, kind of pretty much playing fantasy Superhands, which is brilliant.
That sounds good.
He's down on his luck at the point where you meet him and you walk in, and he basically, you need his help at this point, and all he says in like a stupor is large beer. So then you find a tankard of beer and you have an option. So like this game is obviously full of choices, big and small, and this option was, do you give him the beer that he wants, or do you throw it over him to try and like wake him up and bring him around? The developer chose throw it over him, and the funny little thing, like, it's like got that. It's not got like they will remember that. Like words just pop up on the screen of like how that person may feel about you or what you've done, and all it was in like this weird like little like misty font was plus arsehole. So he now thinks that you are that.
Oh, so it wasn't like if you're a good guy says good guy, if you're a bad guy says arsehole. It was
no.
He
that very specific. Yeah. So I can't wait to see all the different variations of how people will see you in this world. But yeah, he asked
What size this character's downloads look, by the way? He's probably run to Albion barefoot at night.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know, it's all. Do you know what's very Moorish? Donna.
Donna. There's a lot of Peep Show references that might be going over people's heads.
They're going over everyone's head.
Yeah.
But yeah, on that quest, he basically, he's come. He's a bit of an idiot. Let's face it, and he's gambled away basically the rights to the Heroes Guild building to a local gang leader called Slick Ronnie, and she
Slick Ronnie.
Yeah, she has a hideout at a pub, so we had to go there.
Sounds like a euphemism, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does a little.
Well, it sounds. I was saying it sounds like a lonely island.
Oh, Shy Ronnie.
Yeah. But this is Slick Ronnie, and she. We kind of go to that pub, and I mean, people, if you've watched the quest gameplay that's been on YouTube, you'll have seen this already, but it just showcases the different ways a quest can go. Like, you have to get into the back area of this pub, you have options, like you can bribe your way in, you could presumably just fight your way in, or you can like try and like sweet talk your way in. There's lots of different ways to get into places and pick lock and such like that, and yeah, it led to her not being very happy that we stole those deeds back and we had to do a little fight. But I don't know, it's just all shaping up beautifully. I think I just can't be more excited for this game.
I mean, I assume the game feels finished at this point.
I think, well, it's still a good 6 months away. I think that I spoke to Ralph and he said that it's kind of all there. Like, all there. They're very much in, like, you know, tweaking and polishing mode, and being able to add these little tweaks, like, you know, I think they're still coming up with like little weird like spell tunes, like, oh, should we try that, like, will that like react with that, and like, but yeah, I don't know, it's looking in a really good place to me, and it's definitely, I think, my most anticipated game of next year at this point.
It's February, I mean, we've got gameplay up here, and it looks very finished. It looks very polished.
And the cool thing is, as you can see at the bottom of the screen there, this is running on PC, but they deliberately set it to medium just to show you, hey, even on medium, it plays and looks great. The demo we watched was on Ultra, and that did look stunning, to be fair. But
there's your levitate move.
There we go.
Yeah, lovely.
There are lots of enemies, but kind of the original Fable did kind of pit like you against many, and that's also what Ralph told me. It's like, you know, that's kind of what the hero fantasy is. They want to make you feel more powerful than kind of everything in this world, and so yeah, therefore there's lots of enemies to take down. There was also a boss fight at the end of this gameplay. I don't know if we could maybe skim along a little bit. Someone called the Lantern Keeper, who again was this like actually kind of similar-ish to the Witcher enemy we saw. It was like made of twisting branches and had like a big lantern for a head, and you had to take them down. They had a big health bar, but they were always floating around, so you couldn't really melee them, so you had to rely on ranged attacks to hit their weak point, which was the glowing head, of course, and using the ranged spells to take them down. But that actually felt quite good as well. It wasn't, you kind of had to balance, because they could deal big damage with some attacks, so that they could summon wraiths around the arena at any point, so you had to deal with them in order to get health back. It's a classic little thing there. But, yeah.
So I think we discussed this earlier, but one of the things that people were worried about when Playground took this over was, like, are they going to get the humour? Are they going to get the tone of it right? And I think, I mean, for everything we've seen, seems to be them making that sort of statement of intent and saying, like, look, we get it, we do get it. And they do, because the humour it's updated. It's a little bit more like... it feels like a Fable, well, in a universe where, you know, Peep Show has been on the telly and that. But people are going to be in the comments now going, did you know Peep Show debuted in... But, I think it feels like if they'd never stopped making Fable games, I think we kind of would have arrived at something similar.
I would dare say it's funnier than the old Fables.
Okay.
I think the original Fables were more, they were charming and whimsical, whereas this has actually got like proper it's like proper laugh moments, I think.
Proper fact-based jokes.
This is interesting though. This is such a big swing for Playground as well though, because this is completely different for them, right? They're taking on something brand new, and they've been working on it.
Team to make it as well.
So they've been working on it for so long. So.
I mean, a car is basically a bloke, right?
Expand on that.
Optimus Prime.
In terms of video games, you're just kind of, you know, pushing a stick and driving it about. So
You can't stick Donna in a car's engine and expect it to run.
A car can't swing a huge hammer.
It can kill people.
Yeah, they can kill people. Yeah, but lots of things can kill people.
in a
We can
car.
say everything is a car.
Donna can kill you. Donna will kill me. But yeah, what I did have something else to say about Fable, and I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, like you're saying, the peep show elements, the modern comedy elements. I remember in an interview about a year ago, I think they said that there was, in that original trailer, they almost had the
mockumentary stuff.
Bits the camera, like they're genuinely in the
they
game.
got all the talking heads.
Yeah, I haven't seen them in anything I saw this week, but they said they are in the game, like the little office-like bits of the camera.
Well, that could be. I mean, I'm sure they thought of this, right? But it feels like that could be super jarring, depending on when it is. Imagine maybe it's a cutscene thing or something like that. But
or maybe if time passes or something.
I mean, I imagine it's used sparingly because it will get really irritating.
I mean, they're making this game for a while. I'm sure they thought about this many times about when they use it. But that's really interesting because has that ever been in a video game before? I can't think of any video game that's done that.
It really hasn't. No. But yeah, it's all very exciting, and I just kind of want to pot around in that world. The combat felt good, but really I just want to walk around like Bowerstone and places and talk to everyone. Like there's over 30 businesses in that town. You can run them all, you can own them all, you can obviously shop at them all, and you can have, we went to the family home, you can build a family. That's something I'd like to do because I don't know what that's like. It could be lovely.
Build your little digital family.
Exactly. Like we were playing as a hero, and she went to her family home and saw her daughter Daisy, her husband Elliot, and like I said in my preview, the flame is still very much alive in that relationship, because as we walked away from the home, she walked away and you could hear he was sweeping the front garden, and he just went, oof, I'm glad I married all of that. So, and
then you went back and murdered them all.
I didn't murder, but you can murder everyone. You can marry everyone in this game, and you can murder everyone in this game, except for key characters like a Humphrey or something, because that would just break the game. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of Fable. I'm just still very excited. Glad we finally got our hands on it, because it's been a long time coming, and I wasn't really let down.
Well, you've done a thing that Xbox owners have been wanting to do for years.
I know.
Which is play a new Fable.
I know.
Just do a new Fable.
Just do it. Exactly. They've bloody done it. And do you know what we're going to do? Take a little break. We will be back with more from the IGN UK podcast in a little bit.
IGN's coverage of Gamescom 2026 is presented by Metro 2039.
Do you want to be the very best like no one ever was? Streamline your journey to becoming a master trainer with Planet Pokemon. Choose your Pokemon, filtering by type, stats, or game availability. Then use the full team builder to assemble an unbeatable lineup. Plan out the optimal set of moves, items, and abilities. Play to your strengths by analyzing your team's resistances and offensive coverage. Or really maximize your Poke potential by digging into the stats by adjusting EVs and IVs. And save multiple team builds for different strategies in different games. Plan your dream team today at planetpokemon.com. IGN Store has everything you need to level up your life.
Red 6 standing by.
Refresh your wardrobe with official gear you won't find anywhere else. From Fallout, Expedition 33, Romeo's a Dead Man, and more. Treat yourself to the coolest collectibles like an adorable SKA plush, your very own Assassin's Creed Hidden Blade, and a fully functional Pip-Boy 3000. Or kick back and relax to your favorite video game soundtracks on vinyl. Whatever you need, IGN Store has you covered. Head to store.ign.com and start shopping today.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies, and so much more.
See? It's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
And we are back for the third and final part of this week's IGN UK podcast from Gamescom. We're going to do a little bit more of a lightning round here. We're going to pick one more game each that we spent a few minutes talking about. A highlight from each of us. Jim, let's start with you. I hear you've gone back to Scotland.
Yeah, Silent Hill Townfall. I was blown away by it. I got to play a build of the game that we were told is a truncated version of the entire game, which lasts about 6 hours. It's got some time skips in it. But we only had 90 minutes to play it, so there was a little bit of competition as to who could get the furthest in it. I obviously failed miserably. But I loved it. And Silent Hill's not something I've been into, like, ever. Didn't dislike it, it's just not been my thing. But as Dale just said, they put it in Scotland, and I felt sort of,
you're obliged to check it out.
Yeah. I mean, it's really
and
not
90s Scotland. I mean, they're really targeting you there, aren't they?
Well, yeah, that's the Scotland I remember at its worst. So it's set in this little town called St. Amelia. It's really similar to places that I grew up in. It really reminds me of a place called Eyemouth, which...
Eyemouth?
Yeah.
As in like an eye and a mouth?
Eyemouth, yeah.
Is that different to foot and mouth?
Yeah.
Okay. Quite different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a town, it's not a disease.
Well.
Wow.
Carry on.
See what the residents think.
It's a nice place. Every year they nominate a herring queen.
Oh.
Is this in the game or is it?
No. I'm just talking about Eyemouth now.
Tell us about
3
the
minutes.
we need to talk about the Lecky meter.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, this really grounds it in 90s Britain, right? There's an entire puzzle in this where, like, it's like a sort of chain of things you need to do, like a point-and-click game, and it's like you need to get the code for this case, but the code's been sent to an email, but you can't turn the computer on to check the email because the power's out, and you go check the power, and it's out of, like, the meter's out of money, because I don't know if a lot of people watching this will realise, I'm sure people in Britain will, but electricity meters, you used to have to put, like, money in them or a pay card, and where would you get a pay card? In the off license you just walk past to get there, which is now being, like, guarded by a monster.
And an off license is a corner shop for any.
Yeah, it's like a corner
off
shop.
licenses are traditionally guarded by monsters.
Bouncer outside. But, like, yeah, the whole puzzle based around the idea of, like, I just need to stick a $5 in the meter to do this one thing. It's like, it's so quintessentially, like, slightly, like, poverty Britain and like, worked into this puzzle. And I know that a lot of people in the US who've played it are baffled by it.
Yeah.
There was a piece written recently where the author, US-based author, was like, "They do this over there? Like, what is this?"
Not so much anymore.
Not now, but yeah.
Where does the horror come into? Apart from the rush to need new electricity in your house, where does the
that is a kind of horror. They're weaponized.
I mean, well, this is it. I mean, the best thing about it is that it's making the mundane terrifying.
Yeah.
And of course you've got something stalking the streets. You've got that impenetrable fog. I mean, and I think, like, Scotland is a very oppressive place anyway. It's got, like, one of the most oppressive social contracts I've ever lived under.
There we go.
And,
we're getting into it.
Tell us what you really think, Jim.
And it's everyone polices each other, and you can't wear a hat without going outside and somebody calling you Hat Man. It's like, it's one of those, like, I got slagged
Truly
off by
evil.
I got slagged off. I was wearing a Pac-Man shirt once, and a homeless guy with his back up against a bin shouted, "Ho, Pac-Man!" And I thought, you're sitting on a bin. Why am I feeling anyway?
That really put the cherry on top of it.
Why were you wearing a Pac-Man t-shirt?
I don't know. The t-shirt I had on at the time.
Well, this isn't Pac-Man, but it probably does have ghosts.
Yeah.
I imagine. Does it? I don't know.
No, well, it's got
figments of the imagination, I imagine. It's Silent Hill.
It just looks like one long anxiety nightmare. And,
it really is.
I don't need more of those.
The tension is so well maintained, and it's the environmental details really ground you in it. Apart from the Swansea postcode for a Scottish address.
It's disgraceful, that.
Wow.
Even have a word with Konami about that.
I've got to say, I am so excited for this. I mean, I've been really loving all the Silent Hills. I really love that they found their niche of like Silent Hill doesn't have to have these constraints anymore. It's just, you know, a singular sort of theme and idea, and now we can place it in any location and any time.
And I just trust the team as well, because Screenburn, formerly known as No Code, I absolutely love Observation. God, what was their game before that? That is also brilliant.
Amnesia, is it?
No, it's the other horror game, which is fantastic. Stories Untold.
That's it.
Which is fantastic as well. But yeah, I'm up for more of this. But yeah, looks fantastic.
It's so good.
Thank you for sharing, Jim. Dale, you've managed to escape your confines of the editing bay and suing people and getting work done to actually go play a game, I believe.
Well, I've played 2 games, and they're the most 40-year-old man games that you can play on the floor. Which is one of them, which I'm not really going to talk about, is Crazy Taxi. Is it World Tour? It is World Tour. Yeah. It's Crazy Taxi. Yeah.
Tell us about the power of Grayskull.
But I also played, and let's see if I get this correct.
Yeah.
He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Dragon Pearl of Destruction.
Wow. That's the nightmare for headlines, isn't it?
I had to do a video where I was talking to camera and I had to keep remembering what that headline, what that name was. I honestly think this is the first good He-Man game. Okay. So I did a lot of research going into this. Like, there must have been tons of 80s He-Man games, and there was, and they were all terrible. And then there was a few mobile games that came out 10 years ago, and they weren't very good either. But this one, it's made by Bitmap Bureau. You may know them from the Terminator 2D No Fate game that came out last year. And it's very much in that sort of vibe. It's the idea of like, hey, we've got this amazing property that never got a good video game. What would be the perfect, like, 90... If it came out in the 90s, what would be the perfect game for a He-Man license? And of course, it's Streets of Rage, it's GoldenEye, it's a brawler, it's a beat 'em up.
GoldenEye, you mean?
Yeah.
Did I say GoldenEye?
GoldenEye, yeah.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. GoldenEye level.
It's got the PPK.
It's Golden Axe. Yeah, it's really good fun. I would say there's no great surprises. It's exactly what you think it's going to be, but I think that's to its benefit.
It looks incredible.
It serves an older audience, some people who are nostalgic for those 90s games, but also grew up as a child watching the He-Man cartoons. It doesn't take from the new movie. It very much is inspired visually by the original cartoons as well. You've got all the classic characters. You just saw then riding Battle Cat a second ago. You get to play as Man-at-Arms, as Teela, there's She-Ra as well later. It's a lot of charm, a lot of fun. It's not going to blow you away with new gameplay mechanics, but it's exactly what it needs to be.
Yeah, it just it understands its own assignment. Like.
Absolutely.
I mean, in the trailer there, it was obviously a pun. It said like a return to the golden age of brawlers.
They know what they do.
Yeah, they know. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, God, we all want a new Golden Axe.
I've never played Golden Axe.
Oh man, the first Golden Axe was incredible.
I think maybe that era was just a bit before you. But
I'm too young for He-Man, too young for Golden Axe.
But as a kid, Streets of Rage and Golden Axe, oh my God, I was all over them. And yeah, like I said, as a kid, I grew up watching, as well as like Thundercats and Ghostbusters. I watched He-Man as well.
I was more of a Thunderbirds man.
Yeah.
I mean, they came out decades.
You have mentioned Thunderbirds.
I love Thunderbirds, man.
A worrying amount of times this week.
Yeah, I'm just kind of craving some Super Marionation. Really.
It's just well into busted.
Stop going on about Thunderbirds.
Do you know what I will go on about for a few minutes? No Law. I was intrigued by this game before coming to Gamescom, and now I'm leaving Gamescom. Maybe it's the game I'm most excited about. That and Fable, I think. If you don't know what No Law is, it is the next game from Neon Giant, the developers of The Ascent. And when you look at this game, you're like, oh, it looks like Cyberpunk 2077. It does a bit. It does. It is an open world shooter, but I would say it's on the scale of RPG to other games, it's kind of less of an RPG and more of an immersive sim, which is speaking my language. The developers, very big fans of the original Deus Ex, and that is music to my ears. Deus Ex is a series I've been begging for a new game for almost a decade now, and it looks like this may be the closest we're getting to for a while. You play as a character who is kind of a combination of Reacher and Deckard. He's a very big, like, square-built man who's kind of a retired military man who's kind of just looking for a quiet life, but trouble comes to his door. So he has to get revenge and take down, I think, 4 people who are kind of ruining this city he lives in, which is called Port Desire. It's kind of does look a little.
Sounds like a really good liquor. Drop a Port Desire.
Yeah, it's why I feel when I really need to plug in my USB-C cable, I just can't find somewhere to do it. It does look a bit like Night City at night, but during the day it's got more of like a Mediterranean feel to it. It's got like it's kind of baked in sun, a lot of like more interesting like foliage around. Like nature's almost trying to take like battle against the city at times, which is cool. But the bit that sings me most is like the immersive sim elements of it. Like we were shown one mission, 2 ways you can do it. One very sneaky way where you could like find notes of passwords around, like sneak through vents, and then another way where you could basically just go all guns blazing, like. You can play this game as a straight shooter, they said, if you want to ignore all subtlety. And one perfect example of that is there is this almost kind of like stasis grenade you can use to like kind of like freeze people in midair and they'll start shuddering, like really like build up a lot of kinetic energy, and that has this chain reaction. So we went to a marketplace and kind of really ruined a lot of poor civilians' lives just to test it out, and it worked, to be fair to it. So basically we made this stasis grenade, we threw it into a bunch of poor people, and then just like kind of poor people, just poor people.
Wait, you're saying poor as in like they were unfortunate?
In every sense of the word. In every sense of the word. And just got like an SMG out and put a full like magazine of bullets into them. One exploded, and then just suddenly like boom, 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 boom,
Right.
and like 30 people just burst into little bits on the floor and just like popcorn. It was quite the sight to behold. I mean, you can really mess around with the systems in this game. I think it really is impressive. And because it's all in first person as well, like we went into a shop and this is all handcrafted as well. Just like every item in the shop was buyable. You add it to your basket and like it all has a use. Like all the brand, like it's all like painstaking. This is a small team of only 24 people, but you wouldn't believe it like looking at this game. I'm really, really impressed with what I've seen so far, and yeah, I kind of can't wait to play this one.
Do you think there's anything that will, over time, reveal itself with the 24-man team? Like, will it be short, do you think?
I don't know yet. Maybe the depth of the story of the rings, like, I don't know how that's going to go yet, but I feel like in terms of gameplay, it's looking fantastic.
It sounds ambitious as hell.
Yeah, there's a lot of verticality to the system, to the city, which I really like a lot of, like, you know, like, dirty looking, like, tunnels to go into, but also, like, you can unlock a super jump and stuff like that and really, like, get up high in places. I hope it all comes together because it does look fantastic, and yeah, the Ascent had a lot of good things going for it, and I feel like this is kind of the next step for the studio.
The Ascent felt like a really good sort of Amiga game, like, but you know, obviously modern, and I love that their inspiration for this is Deus Ex, because like God knows we need a new one. It's such a real pity that never came about. Anyway.
But yeah, I'm kind of. I
got a question about it. This is how I like to play Cyberpunk. I like to go all in on being a hacker. Do you have those sort of options, or is it more just stealth or like direct combat?
It's. You can do either way you want, really.
No, but I'm saying, is there the option to play it as a hacker instead?
I didn't see many hacking options. I think in the trailer, though, there was, but in the gameplay I saw, but I didn't see much. But I'm hearing breaking news that we've actually got some exclusive Spider-Man footage to show right now.
God. Okay.
Yeah, from new games.
This is new for Jim as well. This is new for Jim.
I think we're going to watch that now.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, wow. So what we're seeing here is, it looks very lifelike, doesn't it, actually? Green Goblin's in this one. Trying to like audio describe this for the audio listeners, and it is
we've 100% played this on the podcast before.
Yeah, this is a real deep cut for long-term listeners.
I just want to shout out Rich Bear Park, the guy who shot this many years ago.
Green Goblin has rolled what looks like a plastic orange towards Spider-Man and is now kind of girding at him. And that's the video. I mean, I'm really excited for whatever that's going to become. It looks like early development footage, but it really could be something quite exciting.
Weird that wasn't on the running order. That's strange.
No, but do you know what? Sometimes you just get like little, like, you know, devils in your ear that go, you know, really just throw to the exclusive Spider-Man footage, and you have to do it, otherwise no one will like you ever again.
I feel like Green Goblin was really carrying that. Spider-Man didn't really look that.
No, if anything, it looks like a Green Goblin.
It was because it was an ambush. It was an actual ambush. Spider-Man was just doing some cool posing.
None of that was planned.
No.
Just like none of this podcast was really planned. We've got about 30 seconds left.
There was an email.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of was. I'm going to get on a flight soon, so no more Donna for me, but... I mean, there's plenty of Donna back home, to be fair.
We're here for another night, and my boss keeps going on about this Philly cheesesteak place, so I think we're doing that tonight.
Wow, well, when in Cologne,
get a Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah, that is all we have this week from the IGN UK podcast. We have plenty more coming your way from Gamescom, so stick around.
The average Cinefix movie list features nearly 100 different films and approximately 25 minutes worth of wall-to-wall deep dive analysis. To simulate that pace for this 30-second ad, we're featuring 26 different films, and before you say it, no, that math does not check out. We're not math people, we're movie people. We can't even count down from 10 without ending up at, 96. Subscribe to IGN Movies and TV for more Cinefix movie lists. Bad at math, great at movies.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and so much more.
See? It's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
IGN Plus is where your adventure begins.
What are you selling?
Plus is the place to get unlimited access to all the tools you need to beat your games.
Here's what you need to know for bringing down Gloomspawn.
Plus, awesome exclusive discounts on IGN Store.
Maybe this would tease open your money pouch.
Plus, ad-free browsing on IGN.com.
That belongs in a museum.
Plus, unlimited game help tools like premium interactive maps with your own custom map markers, filters, marker notes, and more.
This will come in handy.
Plus, access to sweepstakes, giveaways, and free game keys.
Wow! Exactly.
Want more? Head to IGN.com/plus and start your adventure today.
You're watching Gamescom Studio on IGN. If you've never been to Gamescom in person, it can be hard to get a sense of just how big it is, and there's a lot to see. So here's a look at what it's like out on the show floor.
Hi everyone, I'm Maria, and it is my most exciting time of the year because it is Gamescom time. And as you can see, there's already a lot of things going on. People are heading to all of the different halls, which there's 9 of. Absolutely wild. And we're going to be checking them out as well. There's exclusive demos, photo opportunities, and the thing that I really want to see is the Final Fantasy VII booth. And I also want to check out what The Witcher is hiding. So let's go! We've got Final Fantasy over there, we've got The Witcher over here, there's a humongous ROG Xbox Ally, and I heard there's a massive T-Rex as well, so let's go and check it out. When I dive back into Final Fantasy XIV Online, you'll catch me on this. I might not be able to win with my fighting skills, but I might win with my dancing skills. We've just
seen that you can hold the Buster Sword, so let's see if I'm as strong as Cloud. I've just arrived at the Witcher booth and oh my god, Geralt is actually here, so I need to go and grab a picture with him. Oh my god, I'm actually meeting him. He's right next to me. Last year, Gamescom had over 350,000 visitors, and I have a feeling that most of them will be queuing here to check out the Songs of the Past expansion. The original Tomb Raider game got me into gaming, so to see Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis here in such a big way, and seeing a T-Rex over there that terrified me as a kid, I have to go and take a picture with him. Dracula might be evil, but he's got some mad interior design skills, because this chair is comfy, albeit also very huge, and I'm too small for it. Let's see if I made it. Kept you waiting, huh? Where Winds Meet has this massive, beautiful booth, but I don't remember there being any robots in the 10 Kingdoms. I was expecting Master Chief to give me a tour of the booth, but at least he left us right here. I wonder if I can take it for a spin. Gamescom is filled with amazing games, cute cosplays, and breathtaking displays, and then there's the scariest guy I have ever seen. I've made my way into the heart of the Xbox booth at Gamescom, and there's so many amazing things to see, but one of the ones that I've been very excited about is seeing the 25th anniversary collection live and in color. Here in Hall 7 we have this huge Egyptian-themed Marvel Rivals booth, but there's only one character that I am dying to meet. Jeff the Landshark might not always be the MVP of the match, but he's always the MVP of my heart, because he's just so cute. I spent my time exploring the huge Sega booth in Hall 7, where they have Warhammer, Crazy Taxi World Tour, Alien Isolation 2, Persona, and more, and I was tasked with filling up my passports with the different stamps from each section, and I've just completed my Sega passport, and this is the amazing award that I got. Gamescom doesn't only take place in Germany, it also takes place on the planet of Jakku, and I'm here at the Droid Pit Shop, and they're repairing my speeder bike, and I hope that I can take it for a race across the hall. Of course, it wouldn't be Gamescom with massive machinery here. Machinery is so massive, look how far away my cameraman is from me. There's a lot of high-end PCs with amazing demos at Gamescom, and I think I need something as big as this to scoop it all up. We've seen some pretty massive things in Hall 6, but I think it's time to catch a ride to the next thing. I've just arrived at the Peacekeeper shooting range for No Law, and let's see what high score I can get. I've seen so many cool things at Gamescom, and I really hope that you get to check out all these amazing things at Gamescom 2026, but you're already in the right place, so stay tuned to IGN.
It's the final day of Gamescom 2026, and you know, like an English aristocrat slaughtering the last ever T-Rex, we're not sad about it because there's a special episode of GameScoop coming right up after this trailer.
When we dream, time is just a concept.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to IGN Game Scoop. I'm your host, Damon Hatfield. Joining me today is Nick Lamone.
I'm back, baby. Solo dolo.
And that's it. That's it. 4/5 of your regular Game Scoop crew are here in Germany, but Justin went home early, and Sam got sick. Too many sausages for Sam, famous carnivore Sam Claiborne.
What a shame.
You've got just the two of us, but that's fine. We still have a great show for you this week. Very special episode coming to you from the show floor here at Gamescom, where Konami has a booth right behind us, and Castlevania Belmont's Curse is very prominently featured. Lots of free advertising for Konami appearing in every single video that we've shot from our studio.
I mean, at least it's a cool game.
At least it is a very cool
And
game.
spoilers.
So,
I might have gotten hands-on with it.
wait, did you?
I did.
You didn't even tell me that.
No, I did it earlier today. I had to I'm not doing anything for an hour. Let's go see if I can get in line.
Okay, well, we'll be talking about that. Sam also got to play it. I actually haven't played very much here at Gamescom. So we're here at Gamescom. It's the biggest gaming show in the world by a large margin.
It's gigantic.
If you remember, if you've been to E3 or PAX, the largest attendance for E3 was 70,000 people. Gamescom is more like 350,000, so
Yeah, I think
much
it's even
bigger.
more than that now.
But
It's crazy.
Even the convention center is bigger than anything I've seen in the States. It's like 8 gigantic halls. If it were empty, it would take a long time to walk from one end to the other. But now that it's full, it takes forever to get through them. So the halls are filled with booths, and they're really fun, like cool booths this year. It reminds me a lot of the old E3, where
It's very extravagant. Yeah, very over the top. Like it's truly a spectacle in the way it's like, dang, I think I would actually come to this as a consumer, general fan.
It is open to the public. Lots of consumers here, and there's some IGN and GameScoop fans hanging around our booth outside right now.
There's hordes of them. You just can't see all of them. There's hordes, millions.
There actually are, and I've run into a lot of GameScoop fans that stopped me this week. So I always love running into fans. You know, if you ever see us out and about, don't hesitate to say hi.
Guten Tag.
Love saying hi to Scoop Nation. So in our hall, this is Hall 7, I think. We obviously have Castlevania, which it's just crazy.
It's so sick to say that we are sharing a hall with Castlevania.
Well, just that in the year 2026, a 2D Castlevania game has a gigantic, cool booth at the biggest gaming convention in the world.
It's so sick in there.
Konami has really turned things around.
I think
good
so.
on you. Good on you, Konami. That's there. Xbox is in our hall too. And right, Gears of War E-Day, Fable, Alien Isolation 2, I think is at their booth.
Yes, that's correct.
They're also showing off they've got Forza and Halo Campaign Evolved. Nintendo is also here, so I wanted to talk about Xbox and Nintendo both here at the show. And also on the fact that PlayStation does not. Which is a little unfortunate. I think that in recent years they have been skipping Gamescom, even though they have a big game, Wolverine, coming out in just a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But nope. Would you want to get it hands on a bunch of people at a big game? Nope. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they'll buy it anyway. I mean, I guess there's not much
I'm
else.
not worried about Wolverine. But a couple years ago, I can never remember. What's their most famous failed multiplayer shooter? The famous one, that Concord.
Concord, yeah.
They skipped Gamescom, like the week that Concord was out. And then I'm not saying that if Concord had been here, it would have been a success. But if you got a new multiplayer shooter coming out, you could have hundreds of thousands of people go hands on it right here.
In a controlled environment where you make it the ideal experience for people who want to play. 100% agree.
You would think maybe you'd want to do that, but no. What do I know? Anyway, Xbox is down here. And by the way, we've picked we've each picked our 5 favorite games of the show, and we're going to be revealing those here in a little bit. And we don't know; it's a secret to everybody.
Please be excited.
We don't know what we've picked. So it is possible that we've doubled up, and there are actually 10. That's fine. We'll all live. It's going to be okay. Xbox. Some interesting quotes from Asha Sharma was here.
Okay.
Actually saw her for the first time. She did an interview with the BBC. And this is an interesting quote. Let me run this by you.
Please.
This next generation, talking about Project Helix.
Right.
This next generation, we have to be thinking about efficiency and affordability alongside performance. All of the industry needs to start to innovate on affordability and efficiency. That is something that we have not had to do, but with the crisis that's currently happening in hardware and components, it is absolutely something all of us need to be thinking about and innovating on and giving people more choice in terms of how they play their console and how they purchase their console. So I think this is very interesting, talking about how they need to innovate on affordability because hardware's gotten very expensive. Their new Xbox 25th anniversary console is $900.
Nuts.
And it's power-wise, it's the same Xbox Series X that was released for $500.
It just comes in a cool 90s
It's
see-through green.
$900. So it's too expensive. But then previously, back in the Sarabon days, they said their new the next generation console would be very premium. So it seemed like that was before AI was causing price hikes. So it's maybe back then their whole idea to sort of set it apart from the competition was to create a more premium.
I mean,
experience.
a $900 Xbox may have been the premium version back then.
Yeah, but now wisely she's realized no, like this is not sustainable.
Right.
Scalper snatched up this $900 25th anniversary console as soon as it went on pre-orders, and they're selling them on eBay for
$1,500. What?
$2,000.
Oh my goodness, that's too much.
But they're not. You're not going to sell a new console at scale at $900 or $1,000.
That's nuts.
It's not gonna happen. So that's good. But what I wanted to ask you is, she says we need to innovate on affordability and efficiency, and I'm not sure what she means by efficiency.
I guess in the way that you are kind of leveraging the ability of the console to kind of really take advantage of the architecture. I always kind of liken it, at least this is my assumption. I think what she's getting at is likening it back to the efficiency that a lot of developers notably had at the end of the PlayStation 2 era, right? You know, when a new console comes out, everyone's still kind of trying to figure out, you know, what makes this thing tick. Yeah. But then over years and years, and, you know, even in the instance of the Xbox 360, a decade's worth of development, developers really get to know the architecture. They get to know what makes this thing tick, and they're able to really take advantage of it. And I'm hoping that's what it means, because I think that's the era of games that I think leave their mark on a lot of players. The games that people really remember fondly, and like, you know, Shadow of the Colossus is one game in the late PS2 cycle that I think everyone is just enamored with, because it was such a interesting use of the hardware, and because it came last, it also leaves the most lasting impression.
Okami also.
Oh, and Okami, yeah.
Okay, and then it's also interesting that she says we'll provide choice in how they play their console and how they purchase their console. I think they're thinking about, you know,
Klarna, get that Klarna ready. Leasing it.
Rent to own, you know, something like that, you know.
Well, they used to do that like in the Xbox One days. I believe it was the one, or it might have been 360, I forget. But during my Best Buy time, right, Microsoft had a whole incentive program to lease an Xbox. And you would do a monthly down payment and all these different things. Ultimately, you would pay off the Xbox over the course of like a year or something. And I believe if you did the napkin math in it, you ended up paying slightly more for the Xbox, because, you know, it's like basically with interest.
Yeah.
But that kind of feels like where we're headed, especially if you look at Apple. Apple has just adopted a leasing program for MacBooks, iPads, iPhones, and you name it. So I think Klarna is going to be rolling in the dough very soon.
Okay. That's what I wanted to cover with Xbox. Now there's Nintendo. Their booth is in a hall down the hall.
It's across the way.
Their lineup is strange. It's mostly games that are already out, and then some ports of other games like Metaphor, Refundazio, and then they're going big on Call of Duty, actually. Black Ops 4, right?
Yeah, I believe this is one of the places that you can actually get hands-on with Black Ops 4. Or, I'm sorry, no, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4.
That's what it is.
Yeah, Modern Warfare 4.
Yeah, okay.
Not to be confused with Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
But they have this new Fire Emblem coming out.
It's not here.
And it's not here. And I get maybe a turn-based strategy game doesn't demo well, but at least have some like signage, a statue, or some cosplayers. You know, let people know this game's coming out.
Well, also like, again, I think we've seen signage of it. I believe there's pictures of it in Japan where they're like, by the way, this console is going to get more expensive in 1 week.
Yeah.
And you would think they would have like, hey, just as a heads up, this is going to get more expensive. You should buy it now.
You wanted to buy it right now. Save €50.
And let's give you a reason. Here's a game that comes out in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
So that's interesting. And then what really blows my mind is that the Ocarina of Time remake is nowhere to be seen. A game that's supposed to be out in 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is just one of those things where I think I need to stop thinking like a child, like, you know, a child before E3, where I'm so excited.
That sounds like an insult to me.
No. Not in regards to that. No. What I'm saying is, like, you know, when I came to Gamescom, I'm always like, ooh, what's going to be the big reveal? And then, you know, I let my imagination run away from me. And it's like, oh, I wonder if they're going to do like a title card or some sort of like, oh, maybe this is the first gameplay look. And then they'll announce a Nintendo Direct. And I always end up like overestimating. And then I let myself down when it's like, why would they do that? They have a whole digital platform of a Nintendo Direct where they can just kind of own the conversation entirely around an Ocarina of Time announcement, you know?
Yeah, but this is where you could, you know, you get your most dedicated fans who are willing to come out to this convention, let them have hands-on for it. They become evangelists for you. And they go out back into the world and tell everyone how great it is.
Word of mouth.
I mean, that's literally what everyone's doing at these booths, right? That's how this works. I don't know. I think it's weird that this game is out in 3 months and Nintendo, aside from that very short teaser trailer reveal, isn't saying anything about it. And this is sort of Nintendo doesn't go to TGS, which is next week, I think. So this is kind of the last big con event to sort of get people excited about it, get them hands-on with it, and they just skipped it. So
do they have anything coming in October?
Nintendo?
Yeah. Nothing big because it's Fire Emblems this or September, and then October maybe that's where they just a direct day and it's out in a week. Enjoy.
Yeah, I mean all signs point to mid-November, but yeah. Anyway. Okay. Best of show. We each have 5 picks. I'm gonna let you go first. What did you pick?
Should I start from? Is this ranked?
Mine are not ranked, but if yours are ranked, that's fine.
Mine are not ranked.
There are no rules.
So I think we'll just get the ball rolling with the thing that's over our shoulders is Castlevania Belmont's Curse.
Okay, so you played it today.
I did play it this morning. I played a 20-minute demo that was a public-facing demo here at Gamescom, and I was a little bit I don't know. I don't want to be let down. I tried not to get my hopes up too high with Belmont's Curse. And after my time with the demo, dude, I was sold immediately. My initial concern was that it wasn't like a Metroidvania and that it was just a more traditional Castlevania game, which rules, by the way. But I always want I want my Metroidvania. I want to get reason to retread ground I've been before with new weapons and new abilities. And I wasn't sure if that was actually here other than finding upgrades in a linear path that, like the way any other player would.
Yeah.
But they have this whole Arcana system and this whole tarot card system where you can basically, there's different bosses and mini bosses scattered throughout the map that are all objective based, and you can, once you kill them, basically acquire their soul, a la, Dawn of Sorrow or things like that, and they give you a new ability that you can play around with. So in the demo, you start off as Rose Belmont.
Rose Belmont.
She's the daughter of Trevor and Sypha. From the Netflix anime, if you're familiar with that, which rules, by the way. And she starts off with a fireball, but after I beat the first boss, I got the Holy Cross thing, the cross boomerang.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is cool. And then later you learn you get the ability to whip and pull yourself towards objects. And not only can you do that with things that are hanging from the ceiling and stuff like that, but you can also do it with any enemy in the game.
Cool.
And also, if you swing while you're mid, whip towards them, you have a unique animation, basically that's riding the momentum of your whip pull, and it changes based on weapons, and it rocks. And I said weapons, plural. I was concerned that you would only have the sword that they've shown off. In my time in the demo, I found a Kestis. Is that how you say it? It's the gauntlet thing, and it basically turns that whip pull animation into an uppercut that she follows into the air, and you could basically air damage a dude, and it is so sick, so fun. There's secrets. There's wall chicken.
Yep, wall chicken.
I'm all in. I cannot wait to buy this game day one. 100%.
October 15th. Did you play a boss fight?
Yeah, I beat the boss that got me the cross boomerang, but my time ran out before I could get to the second boss.
Yeah. By the way, some people are prickly about if it's Sypha. I don't know which one it is, but...
I mean, I think they say Sypha Belnades.
Yeah.
She's Spanish. Sypha?
Well, they have the voice actress from the Netflix anime series who plays Sypha, and then the actor that plays Dracula. So that's cool.
Yeah, that rules.
Yeah.
That's really,
what's
really
interesting
cool.
is in the show, Dracula is much more sympathetic. He's much less of the bad guy.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not a spoiler.
They paint him as a tragic figure for sure in the show, and I mean, I don't know.
I just don't know if he's the main bad guy of this game, or
they do say this takes place, within a generation of Trevor and Sypha from that Netflix series. So assumingly, they do mention basically at the top, the game is set in Paris, and Paris is burning behind you the entire time, and they do make mention that Dracula is currently dead, at least at the beginning of the demo.
Well, who wants to place bets
on whether somehow Dracula returned?
Somehow Dracula returned. What is a man? Okay, we need to take a quick break, but stick around. There's more Game Soup coming up here on Gamescom Studio.
Do you want to be the very best like no one ever was? Streamline your journey to becoming a master trainer with Planet Pokemon. Choose your Pokemon, filtering by type, stats, or game availability. Then use the full team builder to assemble an unbeatable lineup. Plan out the optimal set of moves, items, and abilities. Plan your dream team today at planetpokemon.com.
Catch up on all your favorite shows with up-to-the-minute gaming and entertainment news with Geek Media Podcasts.
Welcome to a very special episode of IGN GameScoop.
GameScoop has you covered for all things gaming and the latest game releases. Tune into Podcast Beyond for the biggest PlayStation news.
Man, this is a cool looking trailer.
Everything Xbox on Podcasts Unlocked.
This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief.
Catch up with your Super Nintendos on Nintendo Voice Chat.
Let the kids love what we love.
And get all the latest console news and rumors with Next Gen Console Watch.
Now Xbox and Phil Spencer are even saying that a mid-gen refresh isn't even necessary.
The Cinefix Top 100 podcast picks a movie every week to celebrate and debate.
It's kind of every movie's grandpa.
Geek Media Podcasts. The best podcasts from around the world.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. You can even track your progress with interactive checklists so you know you reached that 100% completion.
I will not suffer.
IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and so much more. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
Welcome back to GameScoop here on Gamescom Studio 2026. All right, it's time for my first pick for the best games of the show. I'm going to go with The Witcher 3 Remastered.
Yeah, that was on my list too.
This is also Castlevania was on my list too. So
we're making great time.
Yeah, that's true. We're being very efficient. This is it was a big surprise. I think at the end of Opening Night Live, we knew that the big reveal of Songs of the Past, the DLC, was coming, but the news that they're remastering Witcher 3, throwing in the previous DLC expansions, and making it a free upgrade, and the fact that it's out next month, it was like, oh, well, this is great. Witcher 3 is a game that I've played a lot, and I've started multiple times, but I've never finished. So it's another great excuse.
Are you going to start it back again?
Yeah.
From the top, or are you just going to load in?
I don't know. It's also one of those games that's so hard to return to after months or years. It's like,
I talked.
Why do I have all this grease in my inventory? I don't know.
Every single person I talk to about The Witcher 3 is like, yeah, I've restarted this game like 12 times. Like, it's a badge of honor. I'm like, just play the game. But I get it.
I don't mind it.
It is tough to load into an open world RPG when you're 15 plus hours in and you just, it's the Gandalf, I have no memory of this place.
Yes.
You have 40 different objectives that are on the screen. You have, you're suddenly over and encumbered and you're like, all right, this is too much. No, I'm stoked for this, man. We all knew the Song of the Past DLC was going to be shown at ONL. They were not coy about that. One thing that they were not upfront about was the announcement of this remaster, and it rules, man. I didn't think the game particularly needed visually. I didn't think we'd ever get it because they did semi-recently, I think like 2023 or so, add the ray tracing to the game, and I was like, oh, okay, that's the next gen version of the game. But one thing that we've learned since the game's announced, since the remaster's announcement, is that they're actually taking from the community and officially bringing in mods that people have made. I've previously played with the Witcher 3 HD reworked textures, which is basically a 4K upres of every single texture and asset in the game, and it's so comprehensive and beautiful. It's basically like the must-have definitive mod. So it's nice that CD Projekt Red has such goodwill with the community that they can kind of incorporate all that, build the mod load order for me so I don't have to accidentally crash my game because I did something wrong.
Yeah, it's such a smart move because Songs of the Past is DLC for I guess by the time it's out, a 12-year-old game.
Correct.
So, get it looking nice, get everyone back into it,
It gives you just enough time to play through the base game, Hearts of Stone, the Blood and Wine, and then hopefully by the time you're done with Blood and Wine and Geralt's firmly in retirement, you now have the DLC roughly like knocking at your door that gets Geralt back out of retirement.
Yeah, and to provide it for free for all the existing owners, that's such a generous move. Plus, since it's been more than a decade, you have a whole other generation who's come up who probably hasn't played it. And now's a great time to get the full package before you get the DLC next year. So it all just...
It's so sick. And one thing that was really cool, I thought was very cute, is in the trailer they show Geralt with a chain, like, a scorpion-esque chain that he can attack monsters with, which is a callback to like the original books and just a thing, and the original game, if I'm not mistaken. And one thing that was very cool, make sure you watch IGN's Max Scoville got to interview the game's one of the devs on the team, plus Doug Cockle, and Max got Doug Cockle to say "Get over here" in the voice of Geralt. It's actually on our social channels as well. It's very cute, very fun.
Pretty good.
Good interview too.
All right, that is The Witcher 3 Remastered. Time for Nick's next pick.
All right, my next pick, you all know this is coming. It's got to be Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, yeah.
Revelation. At ONL, we got a look at a new trailer for the game. It was a trailer centered around the weapons, not the physical weapons that you hold in your hand, but the creatures / monsters known as weapons from the original game. This is a thing that was kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Are they actually gonna include this in the game? We see a different version of the weapons than we've ever seen in Final Fantasy VII. In Rebirth, they're very like whale-like monsters that were very docile and peaceful, mostly because Sephiroth hadn't been awoken yet and threatened the life of the planet. But let's just say things don't go quite according to plan at the end of Rebirth. And so now suddenly these monsters, these guardians of Gaia, aka the Earth of Final Fantasy VII, have awoken and now they're trying to fight back. It's almost like it's about environmentalism or something like that.
Something like that.
And, in the original game, Ruby and Emerald are, infamous for being some of the hardest super bosses in Final Fantasy VII. Ruby can wipe out your party within 30 seconds, as can Emerald, who can do 9,999 damage to all 3 party members at once. And there's also a timer ticking down because you are underwater, so you need to have very specific gear to breathe underwater. And it's just really cool to see them in such high fidelity.
What do you think of this sort of Tears of the Kingdom style parachuting mechanic?
It's pretty impressive. So another reason why this game made my my list of my top 5 Gamescom games is I got the great pleasure of finally interviewing Naoki Hamaguchi, the director of Final Fantasy VII Remake, Rebirth, and now Revelation. And one thing he talked about was, the added verticality that they're trying to build out. Rebirth was very much an expansive horizon that you can go through the original map, and it's very dense and there's a lot to see and do, and it almost infamously so at this point, a lot to do. But he just talked a lot about how him and the team are adding a lot of verticality to the game. I don't want to go into the specifics, but I highly recommend you check out the interview that I got to do with him. I thought I did a pretty good job.
I'm sure you did. Sure you did. I know you and a lot of fans are excited for this. I don't know if I'll play it. The only reason I played through all of part 1, and then I played through a lot of Rebirth, but then got distracted by something else, and now it just seems really daunting to get back into it. So now the third one's out, and
may I give you a pitch?
Sure. Pitch.
So you can play Rebirth on basically any console now.
Yep.
And you'll also be able to play Revelation on any console at launch. But they've also retroactively updated the game to include the, infinite health and infinite, basically 9,999 damage. And you could also throw the game on just like its non-scaling difficulty. So I would say just mainline it.
Yeah, you could do that.
And I think you could do it in like 20-ish hours.
Yeah, I should do that because I also enjoy Queen's Blood.
Oh, well,
So
see, you get distracted and then it starts inflating your playtime to 50+ hours.
That's okay.
And it's coming back in Revelation.
More Queen's Blood?
Yeah, more Queen's Blood and new mechanics that have been teased.
Okay. All right, your pitch worked. I'm on board. Okay, this is my next pick. Switching gears a little bit. Nope, not that gears. To Mega Man Dual Override.
Hell yeah.
So it's interesting. This is sort of the first big gameplay reveal, and when it first when that footage first came on screen, a lot of it said, well, it kind of looks like Mega Man 8.
Yeah. Like at least
Or
art
reminiscent.
style inspired.
That's the previous game that is most reminiscent of. And there's even a boss from Mega Man 8, and Astro Man from Mega Man 8 shows up.
Yeah.
Which is just a little bit odd. It's a kind of a deep cut. Mega Man 8 isn't, I like that game. I owned it, but I famously remember using my sister's Toys R Us employee discount to buy it. But I don't think it's a particularly well-beloved entry in the franchise. I couldn't have even told you. If you had been like, what Mega Man is Astro Man from? I wouldn't have been able to
Base,
say.
why must we fight?
Yeah.
Dr. Why are we?
Dr. Why are we? Anyway, it just seems a little bit random.
And I would argue it is kind of a Mega Man game. Mega Man, they don't really... A lot of Mega Man fans don't really like 8. I like 8 quite a bit because you get Flame Man who has the sword when you kill him, and it's a little blade, and it's sick.
And I think it was the first one that had voice acting too. So
Yes.
At the time, I was in.
And it had an opening anime cutscene. It was so sick.
And here's Twinkle Girl. This is the one Robot Master they're showing off so far.
The way they framed it, I was like, is she like a new rival of Mega?
Yeah.
The way they presented her is like, this is the new rival to Mega. I was like, oh, it's like a new Proto Man analog. And it's like, no, it's just a Robot Master.
Well, I know you're not going to believe this, Nick, but the Robot Masters, they've gone haywire and are wreaking havoc.
But they've just been designed to help humanity. I don't understand.
And Twinkle Girl, her whole thing is she wants to be like a performer, and then so all of her her theme and attacks are based on like fireworks. So that's Twinkle Girl.
You know, it's very Clown Man coded.
It is
Who is from Mega Man 8?
There you go.
I think we're on to something here.
Maybe the director of this game is just a big fan of Mega Man 8.
We did also, I think, is this the first time we got a glimpse of the new Proto Man or the Proto Man in this game? Because they show him like in the title card at the very end.
And I don't think they've overtly been obvious about this, but you can choose to play as Mega Man or Proto Man.
What's up with his like? Is that the dual override where he does the Drake like Sprite can?
Yes, so that's it's the override mechanic where you can like overpower yourself for a brief time to become more powerful or faster or something like that. But the trick is that after you do that, you're weakened for a certain amount of time.
That's sick.
You have to be smart when you use it.
Risk versus reward.
That's
I love
exactly
it.
Yeah. So I'll be curious to see if will there be obvious sections in each stage? Like if you look at any guide or walkthrough from the game, will they all say use the override at this point in the stage, or are we really gonna have freedom to?
I mean, I think that's the thing that's beautiful about Mega Man as a platformer is everyone struggles at different parts of a stage in general, and it's just giving you an extra tool set that has its own kind of parameters around it. It's just gonna help even the playing field.
Yeah, and this is the first mainline Mega Man game that isn't just numbered. You know, it's Mega Man 12, but they're calling it Dual Override. So, I don't know, it's just a little bit interesting. I think they wanted to reintroduce Mega Man to sort of make it a little bit bigger part of Konami's, or not Konami's, Capcom's, library of games. But now that you've like kind of jumped the tracks off of the numbered, if you want to continue the series, it'd be weird to go back to Mega Man 13.
Yeah, that's
14.
true.
Now you have to keep coming up with new names for it. It has this new system called Built For. There's Built for Survival, so you can set up. You can give Mega Man a custom chip.
Oh, okay. Like
level.
a loadout.
Kind of like a loadout. Very, very simple loadout. Built for Survival is a custom chip that creates a barrier against one instance of enemy fire. So it's a shield.
Oh, nice.
And you get a bonus E-tank.
Nice.
So there's that. And then Built for Firepower is a custom chip packed with auto charging that helps you attack more efficiently, so you don't have to hold down the button to charge. Plus the power to unleash double charge shots at once.
Are these going to be the people who are like, you're not a real Mega Man fan unless you beat it without using this sort of support system?
That's the whole thing. You don't have to use them. So yeah, I'm sure there will be purists who scoff at it. But they're also, Mega Man games are typically pretty challenging.
They're very tough.
These are little ways to help people mitigate if it's too tough for them.
I don't think I've ever beat the yellow boss. Is it Mega Man 1? The one with the blobs that you have to pause?
You've never beat it?
Not without pausing, doing the trick on NES where you pause the game and unpause it really fast.
That exploit is in the game. That's fair. That's fair game. I'm excited for this one. This one's coming next year. Although when we were all watching it together, all of IGM who's here was watching the O&L presentation. The biggest reaction that this part of the show got was the Pragmata skins.
You all said I was crazy.
Well,
you all said Pragmata is not a Mega Man game. Well, tell you what, now it is.
It has Mega Man skins in it. They're very funny.
Yeah, it was very cute.
That was very cute. All right, Mega Man Dual Override. Time for Nick's next pick.
All right, this one was a surprising one, to say the least. It was actually announced just before Gamescom, but still playable here at the show floor. I'm talking, of course, about Terranigma.
Okay.
And everyone's like, wait, why do I know that game? You know, if you're a North American Scoop fan, which I know you all are, and you know, the other countries, the fans in other countries are like, well,
There's just one Scoop Nation.
Yeah, we're all one Scoop Nation. We should all be so lucky. But this is a classic action RPG that never made its way to North America. You know, I also did an interview with the kind of one of the people responsible for this remaster / port. He said it's not really a remaster, more so that it is just a port with some quality of life features that have been very clearly added to the game if you're familiar with it. But TLDR, this is the third entry in a sort of spiritual trilogy that from Quintet, who did ActRaiser, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
They also
that's
did,
not part of this.
That's not part of this trilogy, but that's where Scoop Nation would probably know them from.
Mm-hmm.
They started with Soul Blazer, which did come to North America. It is a fine game.
Fine.
Illusion of Gaia, which is also fine, just a little better. That also never came to North America, if my memory serves correctly. Maybe I'm wrong. Please correct me. I would like to know that, because I didn't actually research that part before I got on Scoop today. I'm pretty sure that's the case, though. And Terranigma is the one that never came out in North America, and it's the one that everyone's like, oh, this is like what the other games were aspiring to, but never quite hit the high bar that this one did. And I'm happy to report that it is beautiful sprite work, incredible music with a soundtrack that features a track from Yuzo Koshiro, who apparently he forgot he even produced a track for this game because he did it during like his freelance era. And so make sure you check out my interview with Martin Lindell for the Terranigma port. It was very exciting to see retro gaming alive and well, and he was definitely very much of the Scoop Nation ilk of like, oh, I love retro gaming. My goal with creating this game was preserving the original experience I had playing through this game. So there's like a delightful little CRT effect and pixel scaling, and it's really cool. I highly recommend checking it out.
All right. We're going to talk a little bit more about Terranigma. I have some more to say about that, but we need to take a quick break. Stick around. There's more Game Scoop coming up here on Gamescom Studio.
IGN's coverage of Gamescom 2026 is presented by Metro 2039.
IGN Store has everything you need to level up your life.
Red 6 standing by.
Refresh your wardrobe with official gear you won't find anywhere else. From Fallout, Expedition 33, Romeo's a Dead Man, and more. Treat yourself to the coolest collectibles like an adorable SKA plush, your very own Assassin's Creed Hidden Blade, and a fully functional Pip-Boy 3000. Or kick back and relax to your favorite video game soundtracks on vinyl. Whatever you need, IGN Store has you covered. Head to store.ign.com and start shopping today.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies, and so much more.
See? It's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
Do you want to be the very best like no one ever was? Streamline your journey to becoming a master trainer with Planet Pokemon. Choose your Pokemon, filtering by type, stats, or game availability. Then use the full team builder to assemble an unbeatable lineup. Plan out the optimal set of moves, items, and abilities. Play to your strengths by analyzing your team's resistances and offensive coverage. Or really maximize your Poke potential by digging into the stats by adjusting EVs and IVs. And save multiple team builds for different strategies in different games. Plan your dream team today at planetpokemon.com.
Welcome back to GameScoop here on Gamescom Studio 2026. We're just talking about Terranigma, which is the Super Famicom game released in the 90s in Japan and PAL territories, but not North America.
Correct.
And now that wrong is being righted all these years later. It's getting a worldwide release. So Terranigma it was an Enix game.
Yes.
And in the year that it was released, 95 or 96, Enix had closed its North American offices, so there was no one to release the game.
That's probably it.
But if you look at any list of, the best Super Famicom games that were not released in North America, Terranigma is probably at the top of those.
Here's the 30 JRPGs you never heard of, kind of thing.
Terranigma is at the top of the list, along with another game that until a couple years ago had not been released here, Live Alive.
Yes.
So that's cool. That's cool that Square Enix is doing this to preserve these games and make them accessible today. Very cool. Okay, my next game, I think we each have a couple games left. My next game is Crimson Desert Enhanced.
I'm surprised, but I forgot to put it on my list, but I'm intrigued.
Well, here's my thinking. The game is not even, I think it's like 5 months old. And now the Enhanced Edition is here.
It's officially 2.0.
It's 2.0 already. And this game has, received a lot of updates and fixes over the months. There's been a lot of talk about this game. It's a little bit of a polarizing game.
Yeah.
Some people think it's a 6. Some people love it to death and have put over 300 hours into it. It's their game of the year, and they think it's one of the best open world action adventure games ever made.
Yes.
So, Nick, my question is it time for me to play this game? I haven't played it.
You know what? I think we owe it to both of ourselves to jump back in and give it a shot, or jump in
for the first time for
give
me.
it a shot, and I'll jump back in and give it a shot, because the thing that really is impressive to me is there's even like story reworks where everyone's like, oh yeah, if you start, apparently there's like a very streamlined process of starting a new game where you get to keep a lot of your upgrades, and it's like very not an issue at all. But they say from moment one, it's like, oh yeah, this is vastly different experience story wise, and it's like a meaningful difference, and it's just kind of nuts.
Yeah. I mean, on one hand, it's cool that they can be so agile and update the game so quickly and regularly, but on the other hand, it's the developers either didn't know these things were problems, or they weren't able to get to them before release. I don't know.
My vibe is that they're like, just release it, and then we'll like basically build the bridge as we try to cross.
We're gonna vibe check.
Kind of like almost like a semi-early access release. This is just pure speculation on my part, but
that makes it seem less like an auteur work, like a Death Stranding. Whereas I'm pretty sure when Death Stranding and Death Stranding 2 launched, Hideo Kojima was probably pretty happy with everything in there.
I mean, it's the closest I've ever seen to a single-player offline game feeling like a game as a service live game model. Like it's so unusual to me. It's really cool because I do think it's like kind of fascinating that they're breathing new life into the game constantly, even though some of the Crimson Desert community is complaining that it keeps breaking their mods.
Okay. Yeah. So what you did try it at launch. What was your sort of experience then?
At launch, I kind of got about 10 hours in, and I was like, I understand the appeal. I just thought that there was so much latency between my inputs and what Cliff did. He felt kind of clunky to control, not as fluid, but I actually started a new game maybe like a week before I came to Gamescom, and I got a few more hours in, and it was a significant difference between my original experience and now. And honestly, seeing this, because they've streamlined this new game process, I'm probably gonna just start another new game and just really give this game its a third shot.
I have yet to play this game. I think now with the Enhanced Edition, it's time.
Yeah.
I will check in. Crimson Desert Enhanced. All right, Nick's next pick.
I gotta go. A little bit of a sleeper for me, but I'm very impressed, especially after your interview with the devs, is Tides of Annihilation.
Yeah, that looks promising.
I'm excited for Tides of Annihilation for one weirdly Nick reason, in that it looks like the Final Fantasy Versus 13 that we never got. Like the, famously, Final Fantasy Versus 13 from Tetsuya Nomura had this very brooding, proto-Noctis looking protagonist who is the king in this, hyper-realistic city and called Insomnia. Then, all of the story details and all that stuff eventually became Final Fantasy 15, but in a way that kind of lost a lot of its emo boy kind of edge that a lot of fans, especially Final Fantasy fans, were looking forward to. And this does really look like a lot of what we were kind of originally promised with that Versus 13. If you ever go back and rewatch a lot of original gameplay for that, this kind of looks like it's doing Devil May Cry in that same domain. And that's another reason why I like it. The combat looks so fun, and I really like the system that they're doing with this kind of, I don't recall quite what they called them. They're like familiars or something
The
like
knights?
that. The knights, yeah. But they're all like Arthurian knight theme, which I'm a sucker for. I love, like, you're telling me I can have Galahad at my side, and he's like, looks sick as hell, like kind of assisting me in a Devil May Cry style combo. I love the spectacle of this game. The game looks gorgeous, and I would argue they have one of the coolest booths here at Gamescom.
they do
So
have a cool booth,
they did a good job of presenting this game in a positive light. Now, I think in your interview they also talk a bit about exploration, and that was the only other question I had about the game is like, what's it look like in between battles?
Yeah, I saw her finding a chest opened up for some loot or something like that.
I'm in.
I think it's going to be pretty light. I think the focus is definitely on the action. It's a character action game with a really unique premise. It's a destroyed London, and the heroine, Gwendolyn, she has the power of King Arthur, and yeah, as you said, can summon these knights to her. So it's a unique premise.
Looks really cool.
As long as it feels good. We talk about game feel a lot on the show.
I didn't get a chance to. They do have this playable here on the show floor, but the line was way too long, so I could not get in.
I mean, there's a lot of action games coming out of Chinese developers these days, and this is it seems like it could be another really good one. We've arrived at my final pick because the others were overlaps. Do you have one more unique pick?
If I do, you'd have to roll it because I currently can't remember if I covered all of my games. It's been a long couple weeks here at Gamescom Studio.
This is my last thing I'm filming here in Germany, and I definitely need a rest. Anyway, my last pick was going to be, it might be surprising to you, Rainbow Six Tactics.
Whoa! I get it, though.
The first single-player Rainbow Six since Vegas 2 in 2007. And I love the Vegas games, and I also love tactics games. So this seems like a no-brainer.
It's a match made in heaven, and I think right now we're in this kind of almost like something that harkens back to when XCOM Enemy Unknown first came out, where it's like, oh, wait, tactics games rule. Why were they gone for so long? And this is the same. We have what's the Star Wars
Zero Company,
and now this looks so good, and I love that it's leaning into the hero shooter like archetypes that they've developed with Rainbow Six Siege, and applying those hero shooter like elements of what makes each character unique, and applying that to a gameplay format that I'm way more excited to play.
Yeah. This seems like a why didn't this happen sooner sort of situation. It's been way too long since we had a single player Rainbow Six game, so that's really cool. I'm excited for that. That's coming next year, 2027. And you mentioned Star Wars Zero Company. We actually reviewed that this week. Dan Stapleton gave it a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Everybody's really happy with this. I've actually been playing Zero Company before I came here, and I was enjoying it a lot. So yeah, it turns out taking XCOM and just skinning it with Star Wars works out pretty well.
Match made in heaven. That sounds great. Sign me up. We've got a lot of games to come back home to. There's so much.
I know.
I'm a little scared.
I have my Wolverine code just waiting for me. Just waiting for me at home.
Bro, same.
Get me home. And I also like another game that's coming out soon. I like it. You'll be hearing more about that soon, too. We have a lot to talk about. Did you have any other games you want to shout out? I have an honorable mention, a weird one.
You go first. I got to, again.
Here's one that I don't know if I should be excited for, but the game is so weird.
Hit me.
Showa American Story.
Yes. Why are you interested in it?
Well, it's just so weird.
So the over-the-top.
This is set in an alternate late 80s where Japan bought up most of the United States, effectively colonizing it economically and culturally. And so we play as this woman, Choko Chigusa, a girl brought back from the dead.
Of course.
And it seems like hack and slash with RPG elements, and she has these wild attacks, very patriotic attacks that invoke the American flag. She wears very short shorts, and the whole thing is made by a Chinese developer. So the whole thing is just weird.
Yeah, I don't think. I think it's best to not question it too much. I think it's not being. Its intent is not to be taken seriously. I think it's more just a celebration of American patriotism and the overtopness that it can potentially be every now and then. And I think this looks silly and interesting, and I'm glad games like this are still getting made. They also might quite possibly have the biggest booth here at Gamescom that has like a Japan-esque Golden Gate Bridge.
They have Space Harrier, a Clear Harrier clone, and what's the driving game?
Outrun?
Outrun, yeah.
Am I crazy? Scoop fans might know this as well. Does this game have any sort of connection to this game that came out, I think, like 2023, called Wanted Dead, which was a character action game as well, where you played as a German woman with a robotic arm. She had a katana, and she was a part of this elite force of like cops, and the game is like 6 hours long, has incredible combat, but it's just the most baffling design decisions ever. Like, it is a game that doesn't get good until you beat the game and then carry all of your abilities back into a new game, and you finally can use all your combos and stuff like that. It has a karaoke mini game where there's only one song to karaoke in the entire game, and it's 99 red balloons.
Oh, okay. Well, at least they picked a good song.
But that's the only song.
There's more arcade. That was like a Russian attack.
Wanted Dead also had a bunch of weird arcade games. So I wonder if there's some sort of shared developer DNA there.
I don't know. I mean, I'm open-minded to this game. It's just really weird.
Yeah.
The existence of it is weird.
I will check it out.
I mean, I like flying heads and spurting blood. So that's good. Okay, in our final minutes here, let's check in with the listeners.
Hey, listeners.
Listeners, remember you can always reach us at the email address gamescoop@ign.com, just like Matt did. Said, howdy, Damon. I know it's a long shot because there are so many great game announcements at Gamescom, but I'd love it if you give a shout out to the one I'm most looking forward to, Worms Galactic Tactics.
Dude.
Another tactics game.
I do like my Worms, too.
A 3D, so this is a 3D Worms game. 3D isometric XCOM-like tactical roguelike in the Worms franchise. Every part of that sentence makes me so happy to be alive. And they even hinted at the end of the trailer that they might be doing a refresh or remake of the original Worms WMD, which is one of my most played co-op games in college. Incredible. Yeah, I guess I missed this, but I like Worms.
Worms is fantastic.
Just making it 3D, the levels are still fully destructible. So that sounds great.
Yeah, this is one of the... I mean, Worms in general is one of those games that I do at my annual LAN. Somebody inevitably picks Worms, and it's just one thing that, you know, when you're in the room with a bunch of your friends and you're all, you know, accidentally maiming yourself while trying to kill each other, it's just so much fun. It's such a blast. It's so silly, and it, again, just creates such memorable stories. It's such a good series.
Yeah, there are a lot of Worms games. I don't think they're all great.
No, not all of them.
But the best ones are really good, especially... My real introduction with them was when they came to Xbox Live Arcade. I think there were 2 releases there.
Yes.
Whichever ones those are both really good. So I appreciate that. Yeah. That's another tactics game to put on the pile. And then finally, this is Sam Mangan in London, England. Says, I'm a long-time listener for years. I was hoping you can give an update as to when your podcast will adopt the ability to toggle video on and off within the Apple Podcast app. The feature's been out for a while. So I was just wondering when IGN Podcast would adopt it, and we'll do that just as soon as we're able to. I know you can watch videos on Spotify now, and it's our distributor. We use Megaphone to distribute our podcast, and they've acknowledged that they will be supporting Apple Podcasts soon. They say this year. We're just waiting on when that is.
I look forward to that's what Nick looks like? Oh, I didn't expect that. All right.
There's a really funny comment about you on YouTube.
Oh, I've seen it.
It's really good. I almost like G-chatted it to you, and then I stopped myself.
I screenshotted and G-chatted it to everyone.
It's very funny. Anyway, that's our show, and that's about a wrap up.
We did it.
Everything here at Gamescom.
We did it.
It was a good show.
It was a good show. It was honestly one of the most impressive Gamescoms I've ever had the privilege of being a part of at IGN.
Yep. It's a long week, but that's because there's a lot of great games here to get through. So lots to look forward to playing. Anyway, all good things must come to an end. And sadly, that includes Gamescom. This year was our biggest Gamescom studio yet, but it wouldn't have been possible without a lot of hard work from a huge team working across multiple continents. So a huge thanks to everyone involved, and a huge thanks to Koelnmesse for putting on another great Gamescom and entrusting us to produce this show. If you missed any of Gamescom Studio, you can find it on IGN. Plus lots more gaming coverage year-round. So from all of us here, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.
IGN's coverage of Gamescom 2026 is presented by Fable.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and so much more.
See? It's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
IGN Plus is where your adventure begins.
What are you selling?
Plus is the place to get unlimited access to all the tools you need to beat your games.
Here's what you need to know for bringing down Gloomspawn.
Plus, awesome exclusive discounts on IGN Store.
Maybe this would tease open your money pouch.
Plus, ad-free browsing on IGN.com.
That belongs in a museum.
Plus, unlimited game help tools like premium interactive maps with your own custom map markers, filters, marker notes, and more.
This will come in handy.
Plus, access to sweepstakes, giveaways, and free game keys.
Wow! Exactly.
Want more? Head to IGN.com/plus and start your adventure today.
The average Cinefix movie list features nearly 100 different films and approximately 25 minutes worth of wall-to-wall deep dive analysis. To simulate that pace for this 30-second ad, we're featuring 26 different films, and before you say it, no, that math does not check out. We're not math people, we're movie people. We can't even count down from 10 without ending up at, 96. Subscribe to IGN Movies and TV for more Cinefix movie lists. Bad at math, great at movies.